remember to do the same.
I actually got it this time.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, this time I'm the offender. Fuck.
Oh shit, all the
quickly turn
icons are
tables.
not in place, fuck. One moment. I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, they're all in from the
From
tavern
last time.
stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mind people flirting.
It's okay, we'll get better.
Speaking of getting better, my British accent dialects are starting to get better.
Go on then, give us an example.
Well, Mark, you've got to be a fucking ass about it.
My grandparents are from central London. That hurt me physically.
It works better when I'm angry, or at least attempt to be angry.
Yes. Hello,
I
people.
won't ask you for... Hello, folks. Don't worry, we won't ask him to do we will not ask him to do a Cornish accent next. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another episode of Rolling in the Isles. I hope there's no, boys and girls out there. I don't want to repeat of that time we actually got, shuffled into the kids section because we mentioned clowns in the title.
That was your fault.
It's the episode's called Send in the Clowns. Have you seen the A-Team from Tales from My Wife's Son? It was apt. But be that as it may, oh goodness me, we join ourselves, and probably still nursing hangovers from the last time we were on this show, with the drunk stream.
I'm so sorry.
I do not remember getting to bed that night, but I woke up in bed this morning, so I must have worked out for the best. We are.
I remember as much from that drunk stream as a regular stream that we do.
Oh god. Wait.
Damn.
Oh, that's good.
Is it?
Hold on.
It's a flip of the coin on that
decide.
Also, F in chat for Aiden. She's not
Aiden.
dead, but
She's just got AIDS.
She
That's
got
what the
she
A
got
part of the name stands for.
Aiden. But yeah, Aiden got delivery food from a disreputable pub, and has unfortunately
passed away.
is now she's ascended beyond this reality and to food poisoning, so she will not be joining us on this. It's also why we're running on a little bit of a bare bones in terms of our no thumbnail and no
proper
formal
title.
name for this episode.
It is in
Don't
fact
worry,
not, episode 15. Yes.
Or is it?
Who knows? I don't.
We may never know the truth. And that said, we now have majority of the crew here. And I do believe, after the exploration last week, and that resulted in much of the party getting a little spooked, falling back to the church and shooting the shit with the locals, which varied wildly from turning Percy into a regular pig and in some cases incriminating themselves or incriminating each other against each other. Who knows? But with all that sorted, we are on the cusp of a very important thing, which is the first of the what I would call proper dungeon crawls. And that means no more kid gloves, no more piddling about. We're running this shit like it's 1979.
For those in the audience who don't understand, that means Bill's going to try and kill us, Tombs of Horror style. Not annihilation, horror.
Fucking
We go in hard in this bitch. So before we roll into the deep, quite literally, you will have a short while to sort out your equipment. Make sure you're fully stocked. I want you to keep in mind where you're keeping these things, because if it's always good to have the right item, but if it's in the wrong place, it can kill you. A crowbar is a great thing.
But
Keep it in the wrong pouch and fall wrong, and suddenly it's urging through your abdomen through the wrong way.
Yeah. Would there be time for craft alchemy, or just
Yes.
Healing items.
You'll before this, as far as the guilds are concerned, in their infinite wisdom, they have called away the majority of the adventurers. As I will tell you this much: the briefing was, or debrief rather, it is believed that the timing for the invasion was timed for a mustering in the Great Hall, knowing that adventurers trying to save a city will cause more destruction than it prevents.
No.
Also, it would allow the whoever the hostiles are to try and pick off some of the more powerful people. After all, it doesn't really matter how tough you are and how fancy your armor is. If someone drops a building on you and sets it on fire, you're gonna be on the same time limit as most folk. Yeah, quite a short one. As some, quite famous adventurers in this town experienced firsthand. F's in chat for Heavy Edward, who, bit the big one and went on to beyond his mortal coil, and as well as many others.
F for Big Ed.
Oh. No neck Ed.
No, anything now, he's just a suit of burned armor.
Should I do some rolls for craft alchemy up front maybe already?
Please do it. Please note before the roll what items you're crafting with each roll.
Okay.
This is considered a secondary objective of the current efforts to try and reclaim the city. The rescue operation, of course, is the most important, but they have brought in full hazard teams for that.
20 on a salve.
I believe salve is DC 20, if I'm not mistaken.
It says DC 16 on my end, because I have contract alchemy. I'm not sure if that is specific to that. So.
Oh, yeah, that will work. If you have a specific DC, you roll with that. Otherwise, you just go with it. There's a DC for each one for the alchemicals. So just roll away. Let me know, and just note if there's any failures.
24
there will be available oversight, and a lab will be furnished to you given the somewhat high priority of the situation. This is about as high priority a mission as the adventurers are allowed to have right now, barring people who have specific, safety and rescue operations training, which is primarily at this point Mages and Church Guild. Foresters Guild are currently in charge of cutting fire breaks to try and contain, and controlled demolitions. You will be furnished with whatever facilities you need for crafting for this at guild expense. And you will have access to a full suite of whatever equipment you might need at usual market price. Sub your usual guild deductions. So Mages Guild get things cheap, get scrolls and such cheaper.
Is there also a place where we can leave stuff? Because I'm not gonna sling around the fucking fancy grimoire with me into the dungeon.
There will be a specialist foot lockers laid out. Currently, the guilds are operating from mobile bases. Most of them from. Also, there are strongholds. Those are primarily being used to house civilians, and given the criminal element amongst some of the people in the town, it was deemed unsafe to keep stuff there. As a result, mobile command stations, which are usually in carts, which have been specially modified, have been rolled in so that the safety efforts can be done in earnest. Still, just luckily, most people aren't really going out and about at the moment. They're not really trying to run out there, and the mood amongst the other people working currently is very, very low, unfortunately. So about the absolute, deafening quiet only broken by the wind is starting to get under people's skin. That said, you will have at your disposal the full facilities of the guilds.
did have one failure with the cherry bombs. I got a 15 instead of 16.
Okay, because you have people on hand and you have a guild facility, you do not ruin any materials.
Mm-hmm.
And you may reattempt it in your leisure. This is a full quick alchemy suite, so you can do things more quickly.
Very cool.
So it's okay. So it's full like there are even gas flames available, not just paraffin. Okay. Now let's tell you what. We'll bring you over to the very, very opening of the dungeon. And, no, not that one. The first basement, not the one that was full of smoke, the second one, the one downwards that you found the kobold near. I shall move you all over to that just so you can plan from there. And also means that I can make sure that everyone has the right lighting settings.
Oh, we're just skipping straight to it. Okay.
Oh, this is a preamble because I don't have a lab image.
It's basically we're still doing prep and stuff.
Yeah. So if there's anything specific you're going to be after for this is expected to be a somewhat extended stint down here. The Underdark beneath, specifically beneath Ragnarok, is a horrific honeycomb of tunnels. This is everything from old well shafts, old mines, there was even a Remoraz infestation at one point, so the entire place is just an absolute anthill. So does anyone need anything specific?
As long as I've got my bread, I've got my crowbars, like I'm good to go.
How many days worth of how many days is supply? Also, I need to know if everyone on their token could list in the green, put their health, in the red, put their days worth of food, and in the blue, how much fuel they have for their choice of lighting.
Does dark vision count as lighting?
No, in this case. Dark vision, it allows you to see around and operate normally in darkness, but as mentioned, we will be running on what's called Deep Veins Initiative. In the Underdark specifically, with the kinds of stone found in Lycia, and with the lighting levels you'll be dealing with, quite frankly, dark vision is good, compared to not having any. But a torch, the amount of acuity and depth of field that you get from having a lit room, even by torchlight, hell, even by candlelight, is far and away more crisp than dark vision.
It's basically the idea of being in a giant room and having the ability to see around you, but you can't see the ceiling and you can't see the floor.
Yeah, it's a question of would you rather have a mag light or would you rather have Gen 1 night vision?
Also, Bill, there's no symbol for infinity, unfortunately.
Just use it for your spell slots then.
Bill, the ghost lights do not take spell slots.
Yet.
Don't give them ideas, Bill.
What about an ever-burning torch?
Ever-burning torch, let me see that. I think this runs as a regular torch. Let's see.
More importantly, this question of... Oh, go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, that runs as a regular torch lamp, which the rules did not give specifics for.
Essentially, what I'm wondering is if that will, last forever, or if there will be some sort of a limitation to it in a specific area.
Ever-burning torches are available, though you will be forewarned. Magical lighting reacts strangely in certain places in a contained environment. Specifically, if you move through a gas patch, if it is something that's got a kind of any kind of magically reactor material in, it can work well as a canary, or it can kill you.
So essentially, there's a definite risk involved with it.
Yes. Well, similarly to there would be if you were using a regular torch. This has the advantage that it won't go out unless you enter an area that's naturally saps magic, or a magical dead zone.
Yeah.
Or the other like myriad weird things. Magic is not as reliable as people. Magic is interesting and cool, but it's not as reliable as people think. It's not the be-all end-all reliability that people think it is, especially in the Underdark, where hell, even the low levels before the Underdark, the amount of radium in the stone walls will block the majority of divination, and it will block ethereals moving through.
Because I'm looking at torches right now, and it does not... Oh, sorry, I'm just blind. I thought it didn't say or specify how long it burns. No, it does. Okay.
So with Deep Veins Initiative, if you have a light source, you get to roll initiative normally. If you're running on Dark Vision, it's more of a gamble. You will be going after people with a light source, but you're in the dark. You could potentially get a surprise round out of it. And the other side have a light source, so you can see them. They can't necessarily see you. It's give and take with this kind of initiative.
I shall be going with a lamp that I'll most likely be carrying with the telekinesis. So is it just for the radius of the light, the blue bar?
So the amount of fuel.
Okay. In hours
If it's
or...
yes, I'm going to double check.
Since it would be confusing if I put in 2 pints of oil,
Yeah.
while someone else puts in 6 hours.
Yep, a 1 loom, which is what we'll be deducting and adding, is 1 hour of light. The street price of an hour of light in Alicia is 1 silver piece. There is actually a fixed value of it. It is of people who are deep explorers, and people who go into the Underdark and such, or God help them, the places below it. Because after all, there are places like the subterranean seas. A lamp oil is worth more and it's more reliable than a gold coin. It's kind of like when that one guy figured out that the Big Mac coins that you got at McDonald's were technically more solidly floated than the American dollar was because of the lack of gold standard. But the loom, that's backed up by oil. Good old-fashioned oil. So that is very firmly fixed at 1 silver piece per hour of operations for standard oil for 1 loom.
Now, as for the question of storage and supplies we want to bring, is it possible to petition the Mages Guild for an emergency bag of holding, even if as a loner?
Items can be rented. Given where you're going, they would prefer you to buy.
How much would it cost?
A standard market price, and if you're a member of the Mages Guild, it is reduced. I believe it was a 10% reduction in price. So you have to be an actual card-carrying member. Bet you weren't expecting this at the start of the session, are you?
I actually prepare myself for anything, Bill.
Having a pre-adventure shopping spree is like the rarest thing in my games, mainly because like when Sargon does them, they're like 3 hours fucking long, so it scares everyone off out of doing them.
I don't know what I did, but my Opera GX is in full screen mode and I don't know how to leave. Oh, I found it. Never mind.
Is it F11?
Do you have a shopping list, Bill?
Let me get the archive in FSV for them.
Would it be possible on Licia for me to get a clockwork atmosphere? Or is that too high-tech?
Link it to me, and I'll let you know. Generally speaking, the level of equipment that you'll have access to, pretty strong. You're not going to be able to get guns. And
Oh no, it's the air canister from the Thera.
oh, the mechanicals. You will more likely be able to find refillable air canisters. The ones intended for like deep sea and space travel.
Right.
The mechanical atmospheres, because they use etherite. Etherite is very, very rare and is a controlled substance on the island, so you will not be able to get hold of it.
Understandable.
Then, if something is rare enough that it's actually like in a museum here, they are not going to send someone into the Underdark with it, unless they are like a member of the King's Guild.
Could I assume that the price of it, because I'm not sure I could find the price for air canisters, is the same as those for gas mask filters?
Hang on, I'll actually find them for you.
Excellent.
I'm getting a cat burglar sketch. If
Oh, we got some feedback from somewhere. Hang on. Carl, you got some background fuzz?
yeah,
some
I
static.
don't. Is that my?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Check your mic connection. It might have worked its way loose. Also, we will be being joined by Shade this evening by the looks of things.
yes.
Always good to have Goran on hand.
What I would really like is, you know, Marty in Captain Planet who has the gay heart ring. That's what I want.
The heart ring
one of
is the
those.
most broken one out of all of them. It's hilarious. It can mind control people perfectly. That is a literal 9th level spell at will. You cannot have the Ring of Heart unless you go out and kill Captain Planet for it.
Oh,
Those
man.
that's
It's
my
gonna be like the
rules.
future.
You need to go throw hands with Captain Planet. If you can do it, I'll give each of you one of the rings.
Oh god.
That's a promise.
Alright, can I just get a ring that lights up then as a torch?
Yeah, those are actually readily available. You could even get a...
Can I have 10? Nah, that's
Each
pushing
finger.
it.
Just round smashing people in the face.
Imagine like someone punching you with a light up fist, like that. Something. No, just one's fine, thank you. I'm not greedy.
Yeah, I believe a ring of light. Let me double check the continual light rules. I don't usually end up using them because I'm the only idiot who runs Deep Veins Initiative, so most people just get like dark vision.
I'm just thinking of those cool, like, Kamen Rider Super Sentai type poses that I'm going to be doing. The light up ring really fits into that. And it'll
yeah.
help with my toy line as well.
Shade wants to
Hell
fight
yeah.
Captain Planet too.
Everyone should.
Yeah, we just have to start.
Man, fuck them kids.
Oh, Bill, a quick question. How are you wanting us to do the resource indications again? Just so I know.
Okay, okay. Note down everything you want to buy and put it as one post. If you want to discuss it amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Well, where the hell is the lighting thing listed? Ewan torch. 75 gold pieces, I believe. Yep, 75 gold pieces. That's the slotless version, so it'd be half that. Just 37 gold and 5 silver. This takes up a ring slot. Or you can have a full version for 75 gold pieces and it'll float around you when you're not wearing it.
To get the prices.
You could have a tiny gorb that orbits you and projects light out of its like birthmark.
Shit.
The birthmark. Oh god.
What tab would Bag of Holding be in?
Bag of holding is in wondrous items, slotless.
Wondrous, wondrous, wondrous.
Like, I'll show the shopkeeper guy. I'm gonna show him Sir Percy and say it's on him. Just put it on his account.
See,
There you go.
here's the problem, Mark. No one recognises Percy without his hat because he's just a pig.
I'm doing like a mime thing with it. Hello, it's me.
I think the amount of posability in a pig's limbs are very limited. There's a very fine line between like, haha, I am a capitalist pig, and just having him Zeke high all the time.
What's the difference? Also, how much does oil cost? Like 2 pints of oil, specifically? How much is a
Silver
pint?
piece per pint. Silver piece per pint. It is the basis of the loom.
How much was my fucking lamp again?
Bill,
Yes.
are we also able to sell items to get gold back? Because I've got fuck all money that I have.
Certainly, but it is at half price, if you do recall.
All right.
Which is actually primarily due to taxes. Which is the only explanation as to why someone would get a perfectly good sword, sell it, and then could buy it back at twice that price. Which is the Merchants Guild has a better lobby than everyone else does. It's also why the Merchants Guild members can actually sell back stuff at a more expensive rate.
Right.
Does the Mages Guild have access to spells? Jesus Christ, I'm sorry if that was loud.
Yes.
Like the on paper spells.
Yes, scrolls are available and you can
Yes,
copy from them.
scrolls.
Usual rate, I believe you're a member, so that'd be the minus 10% from the market price.
I am member of the Forester Guild, not
Then they will sneer at you as they charge you full price. Hang on,
I
let
will
me
sneer
find
back
something.
at them. But no, I won't actually. I don't want to fuck myself over quite that much.
The Mages Guild are gleefully like price gougy.
Yeah.
But they're not. They've been told specifically they're not allowed to price gouge on this one because it is technically an emergency mission. As such,
How
credit is available.
Can I ask them what scrolls they would recommend? Like
Well.
just 0 levels ones, just simple ones to just have on hand.
What and are amongst themselves. Well, stone shape never hurts.
I don't trust that one. Stone shake while we're in a dungeon where stone is all around us.
Exactly. It lets you have a. It's a level 2 spell, but it's a reliable way to actually bore a hole that won't collapse the whole area on you. Abundant ammunition's always good, yeah. Air bubble. Always take air bubble. You never know when you get into some of the shit in there. Or buy a canary. One them lot over at the Foresters Guild will be able to sell it to you on the cheap.
I will buy a bird.
Well,
Can they put me on credit for a type 1 bag of holding?
Forgot how much money Eris has one moment.
Yeah, you can be put on credit, but you will pay interest on it.
How much interest?
Okay, the rate of interest, it's just a fixed 10% markup.
Obviously, I'm not concerned about interest because I know about the coming revolution.
Exactly. All this money will be worthless anyway. Even me, as like a weird and like anarcho-cryptid, is kind of curious as to what would happen if Mark succeeded. Just to see what you'd do.
Well, you'll have to find out. I don't even know.
You're certainly the most ambitious out of all these guys. Let's see. Well, you can give it the old cold try. You're certainly a bit more motivated than the last idiots who tried, because you aren't being controlled by a vampire. You're technically one yourself.
Bill,
yeah.
do you
I
recall
forgot about that.
how much money it was for one algae bottle? Because I forgot to
algae
note
bottles-
down the amount I got from the algae.
I believe
Like
he gave
32
you. Okay.
bottles.
I believe he gave you a flat 3,000 overall then.
Nice.
Because they were 90 each, and then he gave you like a bulk bonus.
Very cool. Okay, I have some money to work
Delicious
with.
carb-free energy drinks. Hope everyone at home has got some food and drink on them. After all, I've got the breakfast of champions, which is a big bowl of grated cheese and some salami.
That is a champion's breakfast. Sure. Do you mix it like cereal? Like put all the salami in and then put...
Oh no, you like get a pinch of the cheese and put it in the center of the salami and like pinch it together like a.
Oh
Like a
yeah, I
pierogi.
get it. Like it's a little bread.
Why are these shoes 3,500 gold?
What shoes are they?
Boots.
Yeezys.
trackless.
They are also Yeezys.
Are we
So-
putting this in a collective notepad file, or are we sending you a notepad each?
Just when you're done, either post it in chat, post it in player chat with just the item and the amount spent. If you got like a document for it, all the better.
I know how to use the stat function.
No, may the gods have mercy upon us all.
What is hold
That's
person
it.
as a spell?
It's what I use to write the notes, Bill. It's literally just 3 tilde keys on each end. It creates a box function, so you can list it in.
Oh, that one, yeah. I keep forgetting that's there. But for hold person is, I believe, technically a mind affecting spell. It paralyzes people, so you can murder them.
It does.
It is also no. It's like a superpowered taser almost. That said, there's a lot of stuff it doesn't work on, which is the downside, and it only works on people.
I learned to stop giving players access to that in a wand form. They just kept using it to murder people.
Nothing is more dangerous than someone with a war pick with a wand slot in it with whole person in it. Especially if they're a throat slicer build, because suddenly the guy with the war pick just walks up to the person they've just paralyzed and smashes it into their skull and kills them instantaneously.
Why is
God
there
help
a
you, it's one of
judge's
those-
wig as an item?
Because you might be a judge.
Fair.
And by the fact that you didn't think of that, means you're not one to judge. Also, some people want to go like dripped out in the powdered wig with the Kentucky rifle. 3 ruffians break into my dungeon. I equip myself with my staff of disintegration, as a Serarak intended. Tell you, chats, that I blast the first man into atoms, killing him on the spot.
Where are the wands inside of here, Bill?
Wands are their own section. If you go to the top of the page, and it's under, where is it? Oh, sorry. Wands have a set price. Let me find those for you.
So real quick, Bill, Zalmas wants you to check your DMs.
Yeah, I spotted it. As a result of Zama's interjection, Sir Evergreen has said he will also lend people money if they need it,
Nice.
if they are on good terms with him.
Does this make him the money tree?
No, the giving tree. No, not really. He wants that money back afterwards. He ain't made the money. If Sir Evergreen actually grew like leaves that were just paper currency, they would have him like bolted to a wall and set on fire. The merchant skill would have him like rendered down to fucking like
They're trying
so
to
rendered down to wood chips and
fertilizer.
spread around a children's playground.
Yeah. I should not be looking at television items.
I would like to borrow 100 silver from Sir Evergreen in that case. Noted down on my sheet.
Okay. Please, anyone who's borrowing from Sir Evergreen, please note it down as Evergreen debt.
Zalmas has said, "How dare you? No money for Carl." Whoa.
I like to be able to, I do like having the ability to outsource NPCs to people in the chat.
Okay.
It's far less of it. It's great.
Also, to the people in the party, I can recommend that you spend 50 gold to get an Eventide outfit so you can resist major cold and heat up to a certain point.
Yeah, the Underdark is one of those places where you can go from one room to the next, and you will be hit you will be hit consecutively with like horrific cold winds and then lava.
Is this magical or non-magical?
Mundane.
I mean, put
I'm a
ghost touch
ghost.
on it.
The Eventide suit is essentially a particularly advanced variant on the survival suit. Not as advanced as, say, like the still suit, which makes you just immune to dehydration, because it just pumps your own like sweat back into your mouth.
I can't
Through a filter, of course.
It.
But I'm a ghost.
Speaking of which, Bill, how much were the air canisters?
25 gold pieces each.
Oof, alright.
And they're a bit heavy, but you can refill them.
Yes. In that case, I'll get two of them.
A very popular. You will be told if you're on in the poorhouse and you need a suit to operate down there. If you can't afford an Eventide, you can always get an old wetsuit and some air canisters. I usually keep 2, and that'll get you through the worst of it. And bring a helmet. For goodness' sake, bring a helmet. If you want to solicit advice from people as well, if you almost all, because most of the other adventurers are not allowed to be out on operations unless they're specifically trained in rescue. You can basically talk to any of the NPCs you've met or on good terms with who are in Ragnarok, which is most of them. And yeah, let me know. Even though I think is Spheres Wiki, Han, if you can grab the link you got to hand.
I'll post it
Yes.
in the player's chat. It includes several other very useful items as well in there, such as the sausage or the pastry
Or the catnip hookah.
and toe-bean tunas.
Spheres Wiki would be fantastic if it was not laid out like it was like laid out with a 12 ball full of birdshot. I have finding the weapon enchantments is such arduous. I swear to goodness.
Also, I think
Yeah, it's kind of a
good
maze.
actually on the Eventide kit, since I do have my one bedroll that is enchanted, so I'm always comfy.
With
Which I
Endure
believe
elements on it.
I do believe so.
Yep. I think that's basically the equivalent of an Eventide outfit, actually, because it protects you against the same temperatures.
Yeah, it just takes up a cloak slot rather than whatever the hell the Eventide suit uses, which I think is body.
I think so.
Well,
Right,
less
once.
money that I have to spend. Okay.
16, 20,
By the way, is any in terms of everyone's just wearing how they normally dress, correct?
Yes.
I remember the Foresters Guild, who are in charge of the Delvers division. You've all got climbing gear, correct?
Yep.
I have a grappling
Okay.
hook that I just found.
He'll
What's the height?
he'll sweep his cloak back and show a full harness of different carabiners and clips. Trust me, you need a housebreaker harness. Get one. It will save your life. You do not want to be trying to free climb down there.
How much is it?
Climbing harness. What is this?
I tried. Crypt breaker. No.
Did they not give actual rules for a fucking climbing harness? Are they serious?
Those are too expensive. Can't take them. Fuck.
Do they legit not include rules for that? Hang on, let me find a copy of Honest Equipment Guide.
Otherwise, you can always look at Dragon Mech. I think they have something very similar.
Can
Yeah,
I
that's the mech
instead
harness.
get a scroll
Yeah.
for climbing beanstalk?
You can certainly buy within reason.
No.
Most magical spells at level 3 are available. They have scribes whose job it is just to like mass transcribe like level 3 spells.
It's actually level 2, I believe, the beanstalk one. Yeah, level 2 druid
available.
and witch.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Fire.
When they see where you're going and what you bought, it's like, please be careful with this. This could cause a sinkhole.
No, I won't get
Steam
the thing.
Can't see Gin.
So I thought long and hard about it. I'd like to buy an umbrella, please.
Certainly, they are priced. Would you like a waterproof one or a regular one or a sunbrella?
Ideally, I want one that injects poison. Either way, I want to put a knife on the end of it.
Yeah, the extra 50 gold pieces on top of the umbrella.
I realise that we're going to be underground right now, so I'm not in too much danger of the sun. Getting a bespoke stabby umbrella, that's something that I'm going to need.
Yeah. If you want the version that's a dagger, then it's 50 gold pieces. If not, you'll use the sword cane stats.
Whatever's the best, I'm not going to pay for it anyway.
Okay.
They can come and get me, for their money.
That's finally how they break up the communist uprising. They grab you for unpaid guild fees.
They get you on tax fraud.
So they usually get you. Okay, sword cane's 40. The sword cane is total of 95 gold pieces. I'm expecting you all to note this down.
Yeah, I'm good for that. I'm nodding, being really convincing. Shall I do a bluff check or something?
Please do.
Not do that one, not do that one, not do that one. Trying to find a ranged weapon that a skeleton can be able to use.
No, you'd be surprised. Skeletons use most weapons.
The only thing that makes it feasible is that the majority of this character's main uses is attacks that don't require use of their hands.
You could just buy a
Also-
box of grenades
I could.
or Molotovs or something like that. I say you want to be careful with them. Because a mine fire is a real son of a bitch.
Me puts on a smoke bomb. Afterwards, cherry bomb. Surely, nothing will go wrong here.
Smoke bombs
Any
are
water grenades?
Yeah, water grenades are readily available. They're only they're the same price as the oil ones. Like a silver piece. And that's just for the glass.
If only I had that water ring, and I wouldn't need any water grenades or Molotovs.
Have you been watching Captain Planet whilst getting stoned again?
Oh, it's just ingrained in my psyche.
If only I had some kind of weird elemental powered ring. Just you can probably buy a ring like that. You just create water like torrential torrent. Sorry, hydraulic.
I was going to go on a rant about Captain Planet then, but
We have plenty of time for that when you're fighting him. In any case,
bring me Captain Planet.
I'll say this: all the equipment when you buy the equipment, there are some other brands available if you'd like to have a look. But generally speaking, the off-the-shelf, basically Adventurer Mart brand, mass-produced crap is usually the good go-to.
By the way, Bill,
Yes.
would I have the time to create blood iron using my own blood?
You've got magical manipulation of metals, correct?
Yes.
You could
Which I can
certainly
do
it again.
ad infinitum. Alright.
Yeah, you should have
What
time.
sort
Are you going to show the other all the mages in that around this, or are you going to keep this on the sly?
I will keep it on the sly. I will not necessarily be shy to show to members of the Churches Guild. Because
Holy
Okay.
Would I know if it's an inherently evil thing?
No, Blood Island's great. Everyone loves that
Alright,
stuff.
excellent.
Like, it's actually like most adventure. It's kind of seen as like it's always the first thing like young adventurers buy when they get money, if they live long enough to get it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm going to get a sword made of my own blood. It'd be really cool. And then some mage steals it and and uses it to fucking mind control them. That's why a lot of
You know what?
adventurers look up with that. But
I'll make it out in the open.
after on everyone seems like there's like, you actually get a couple like hangers on like almost like cheer. You want you make this thing,
And I shall use it.
The Job Brothers certainly are there.
Hell yeah.
Also, a couple of members of the Foresters Guild who are in charge of some things going. Might as well use a rubber mallet. You're getting the real like, Lycia experience, like a bunch of people like egging you on, and a bunch of people judging you for not having the right technique.
Oh, Bill, I have a question. How much is primal iron? Is that even available here?
Primal iron is not readily available because of a treaty with the Feycourts.
Fair.
Cold iron is, but primal iron, it doesn't usually occur here naturally because if a meteor struck this island, it would be obliterated completely.
All right.
So it has to be imported, and the imports are pretty much banned.
And
It's
I'm
like
guessing currently no ships are going anyway to import.
no importation is the only people you can only get in and out in certain times a year.
Would I be able to turn cold iron into blood iron and retain the effects of the cold iron?
Sorry, I had a bit of a crackle on mine. Could you repeat that, please, hon?
Okay. Would I be able to infuse cold iron with my own blood, thereby making primal iron, whilst maintaining the effects of cold iron?
Unfortunately, I believe your magic specifically states that it is forging. Is it not?
I can reforge things.
Yeah. And unfortunately, because of the way that particular magic works, by exciting the atoms, it will disrupt the cold iron structure. You'd need it. That's part of why cold iron is more expensive. It can't be worked by it can't be easily worked by magic. If you try and work cold iron magically, it usually goes poorly. You could use another item actuated by magic to do it, but directly manipulating cold iron with magic kind of fucks it up. Also, okay, just so I know, who is borrowing money from Evergreen?
I am 100 gold.
Okay.
I've been disallowed from borrowing. Long range.
I'm borrowing from the store rather than from the individual because I'm gonna fuck this store up.
That's stealing, Mark.
He's repropriating.
I can't fix it. Just point at himself. That's the point. Money is trash.
Let me make a note of how much I've spent so far.
Also,
That
Eris.
wasn't that much. Yes.
So Evergreen will offer to lend you something.
Oh.
He'll shrug off his cloak and pass it to you.
Ooh.
It's a heavy thing made of your foliage. This is a gardener's cloak.
Ooh.
Any plants that are stored in his pockets will grow naturally.
So you say I can put the cave vine in it and it's just gonna grow out more?
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
It's
don't
a
have-
mobile garden, essentially.
Does the plant have to be fully intact with roots?
If it's a spliceable tree, no.
But if it were to be those black roses we found that silence people.
Yes, but keep in mind that it's something you'll have to wear. So if someone runs up to you and smacks you with a mace, it could set off the rose.
Okay.
Might be interesting for you to try and get good berries
Yeah,
in there.
I will write down that it's borrowed. Yeah, I will have a look at different plants. If only Eris had the one bag in this game that just can summon any fruit.
Oh yeah, that one from the the
Yes.
good old days. Sadly, the one of the few examples of that in existence is currently in the middle of a desert, being owned by a hobgoblin.
Huh.
Good old Shrek warrior. Those were the days.
They can come again, though.
Why is a good berry
There's
bush 8,000 gold?
Because a singular good berry can feed a person for a day, including their water, and heal them.
Can I
In
buy
5e,
one
people
good
will
berry?
abuse the shit of it.
Can I buy
You
one?
may, but keep in mind that the majority of good berries are inert. They do not naturally sprout into plants.
By the way, Bill, could I see if I could get the schism plate upgraded, or would that be too time consuming as well?
The amount... They could try and rush it, but given that it is literally reforging, not an artifact, but very close to it, a legendary item, it would... The amount of this paperwork involved when it comes to something like this, it belonged to a saint. It would have to go... It would literally have to go for planning permission, so you'd be allowed to alter it. Pray they never find out about when you transmuted it into aluminium. Because the planning committee, specifically the historical society, will be on you like white on rice in the center of a snowstorm.
He just thinks to himself, yeah, maybe I should just leave that for now. Right.
Because there's also a chance that if you rush it, they can fuck up, and if someone fucks up that suit, boy, they'll have to call in specialists to repair it.
In that case, I will apply for the permission for it to be upgraded, and just leave it at that for now.
Okay.
Just so that
They
the
ask if you
process
could
is going.
press a wax rose. They've got a official paper seal. They ask if they could press it to the suit for the time being.
Could I roll some sort of an insight check to figure out what it does?
Certainly, we can roll spellcraft for details, sense of motive for very vague vibe.
Alright, yeah, I would definitely like to just roll spellcraft then. $21.
Okay. Just seems like a safety precaution.
Alright, but it's not necessarily...
spellcraft. What this seal is, it's what's known as a seal of repossession. If you die down there, it will teleport the suit back to the surface.
Alright, but it's not necessarily something that will
it's a scrying sensor. It'll let them.
Would you be naked?
Scry and teleport it.
Would you be dead and naked?
If he will, depends on how heavy Baz is. If he's below a certain weight threshold, he'll teleport with it. If he's heavier,
he is 330 pounds.
Currently, if you die of starvation, you'll be significantly lighter.
Yes.
That's true.
So if you die of starvation, try and die of starvation. That way they can teleport you to the surface and resurrect you. Besides, you're a troll. You're really it's remarkably easy to resurrect someone who's part troll. Also, I'm not sure if you can die of that. Can you?
No.
I think it would literally require you to have hunger so bad, you have a.
It is
paroxysm
only...
seizure and snap your own spine.
My spine is indestructible.
Yeah, but it's got a seam where it meets the skull.
Yeah, basically it would have to very specifically decapitate me.
So hungry you decapitate yourself.
Yes.
I'm not sure what stage the connective tissue gets eaten, but still.
Bill, do you remember what stat crossbows use? Was it strength and dexterity in equal parts for attack and damage rolls?
Attack is always dex with ranged weapons. There's no stat to damage with a crossbow unless you have like a specific thing for it.
Because it's telling me that. Hold on. It's telling me that bows have the ability to, if you choose to purchase them, to do so, that they have an additional 100 cost per strength level that you wish to have for ease of the weapon, and that it does use strength. But crossbows don't have anything on that, but they do have the same rule on percentages of increased money per plus on the weapon. But I wasn't sure if it was strength or dexterity.
They don't. I don't believe that crossbows have the same thing. It used to be called mighty crossbows, but those don't exist anymore because obviously winches and such would invalidate them. But
how would you
know
rate
what?
a Mastercraft crossbow?
Mastercraft crossbow is just 300 gold plus the price of the crossbow in question. I'm inclined to allow crossbows to have the same rules as longbows, where you can add like hundreds of gold for each like bonus to the, in which case it will be strength, because it's the amount of physical strength required to span it. This way, the crossbow will not be just complete dog shit. Because even the best crossbow has like a magazine that has to be reloaded.
Baz, what is your strength score?
18
plus.
18.
It does mean that if you have a very strong party member and a bunch of weaklings who've got good decks, you can have that person reload all the crossbows and hand them out.
Now, what if, for example, Bill, I'm choosing to use a rope of twine controlled by a spell called Rope Trick that has the pulling strength of a fucking wince?
They only go up to 5. I will state that now before we get ahead of ourselves.
5 pounds full strength?
So, you could just buy a ballista. They're not that expensive.
But
just
Bill, I can't carry this ballista down here.
They're not, like, the smaller ones aren't bad. There's a great crossbow, and you need proficiency for it. But if you have some, you just take some mining picks so you can widen all the doorways. Or, God help you, get one of those vertical ones.
This can be done.
Is this something like reduce person? Yes.
Yes.
Would that work on items? Probably not.
So
there is a reduce items. There is a reduce item spell, which is like the same level as reduce person, I believe.
If
so on the master
shrink item.
Reduce, does it still do the same damage?
No, you have to unreduce it first.
So on the masterwork, light crossbow, it'd be a +2, so it's 300 gold plus 35 gold for the basic crossbow, plus 200 for the +2. And what would its dice damage be?
It'd be a D8 plus the 2 strength damage from strength.
Lovely. Marking.
I will say that if you're trying to use your dexterity in place of your strength at any point, or something like that, sure, you're using the rope trick for that. Let's say, ghosts normally get to use dex in place of strength, but this is like the one place, like unless it's ghost touch, I'm not going to let you use dex in place of strength for like.
No, I have a strength score of 12 for that.
Exactly, works out. So if anyone's in the market for a climbing winch, they are available, and they have a functional strength of 16.
What were the scrolls again that were recommended? I think one was Stone Shake?
Stone Shape level 2 spell.
Oh, Stone
Shake. That's a level 3. Wood Shape's level 2. And Air Bubble is level 1.
Cleric, Druid, Wizard, Sorcerer, or Bard, Paladin, Ranger. Because depending on that, they have different prices, the scrolls.
Let me see.
I'm looking on.
Stone Shape is a level. Stone Shape is level 3 for Cleric, Druid, Shaman, and the Artificer Earth domains in the Earth School. So it's available as a wizard. It is just about available as a wizard spell at level 3.
Okay.
Also, you're about to hate me for my use of ranged weapons, Bill.
If you can see that far, that is.
Yes.
Yeah, you're also in a very enclosed space, so I should stress this.
Yes. There is a reason I took
I-
those flames first.
And the other, those recommended ones? Airbow, right?
Air Bubble, level 1 spell. I believe it is on the wizard and cleric's list.
Okay. First level. Oh, nice. Only 25 gold. I think stone shape is the most expensive thing I'm getting.
It is an
How
expensive
many?
spell.
How many in quantity are bowler bolts usually sold for? Are they sold individually, or are they sold in a quiver? Or bolt pack, excuse me.
Bolts are usually sold in a box of 20. Bolus bolts, I think, are individuals.
Okay.
So
We'll
let me
need that.
double check one thing.
I should consider what weapons I'll take.
Yeah, unfortunately, the classes that get the fancy early spells, Stone Shape isn't on there. For instance, did you know that the Create Pit spell is a level 1 spell for ninjas?
I did.
It's
Which
a
is
banger of a
fucking
move.
crazy.
I know, it makes that one shovel item way cheaper. I will actually have to recalculate the price of that one, though. God bless those weebs. God bless N-Jolly for making them good.
Wait,
God bless
Dale.
him.
If
Yep,
I
what's up?
put my elven branch spear into the gardener's cloak, what happens?
Your branch spear, what is it precisely made out of?
Ash.
Let me check if I wrote that down. No, I did not, but I know that it is made with mortar at the top.
If you try and put anything Morgothine related near the cloak will literally like flip away.
Okay. Fair.
It will like curl itself back over to the shoulder.
That is fair.
Morgoth.
I'll head to the cloak and just be like, this is okay. I'll keep it in mind.
Han is putting iron oxide in a canister. I don't like where this is going.
Me neither.
Fine. You making thermite again?
Maybe.
No, not you, Han.
You know, might come in handy at some point.
Use the Ifrit cord price. It's the exact same stuff. It's just a cable charge worth of it. And those just grabbing hundreds of pounds of fucking quicklime and dumping it on people. I've got a moratorium, and that's controlled substance.
I can finally use the one ability I have to like pull low quality metal out of the ground. Because it doesn't really matter what quality it is. If it's just iron oxide, it's fine.
Take a look around the room you're in. There's enough rust on the equipment of these adventurers. You could like, get a pound and a half of the stuff.
Just get a brush.
Just go
You're
by
right.
some people.
Just go around, just running a hand, just like, and just like
Yep.
scrubbing it off, like it's like squeegeeing down someone.
God. Start offering to
So
wash
we-
their
like a-
armor.
You're like a fucking window cleaner.
Are there any mages around?
Yes, every guild is available. Well, the King's Guild is not available because they're currently doing rescue operations because they are trained in pretty much everything.
I would like to ask a nearby mage if he can quickly zap a bit of canister filled with salt water. Just zap it with a spell that does electricity. Run a current.
Oh,
through
why
it.
needn't you say so? Here you go. And there's like an almighty flash of light because that was a very strong spell. I spec'd into this. I'm a magus.
It is at this moment that Baz is glad that he wears like volcanic rubber.
Yeah, you just watch watch this steel canister become galvanized in real time just from air like reaction. Sirs, most of the Union. He points back. There's like 4 dudes. Like they're like, it's not 4 dudes. It's like 14 dudes. They're all dressed exactly the same. They've all got like rapiers and scimitars.
Why is
Jesus
Kelpie a
Christ.
plant?
You shouldn't be thinking of Kelp. Oh, Kelpie the creature. Like
A
That's
beautiful
weird, I thought
human
they were
female
fair.
with long,
What?
flowing dark hair, emerald eyes, and milky white skin. Yeah, no, it's under plants in the bestiary.
I think
Huh.
that's another
It's a
developer's
different
version of the Kelpie. Because
Yeah.
there's another Kelpie that is an evil fae, and there's one that's an aberration.
Yeah.
And neither of them are horses for some reason.
Yeah, that's the confusing part. They never get Kelpies right.
D&D Kelpies are always like weirdo, like horse-faced, like mutant weirdos.
The fuck is a spore rat?
No, where was that?
It's a rat with a bunch of fungus on its back, I think.
What was that suit that suit you were talking about, Baz?
Eventide. Costs 50 gold or silver.
Eventide. What is it listed as?
It's in the series. I think he's posted it.
Yeah. I'll just copy paste the description real quick.
Adventuring gear.
Can I buy cave light moss?
Outfit Eventide.
Yes.
For how much?
So yeah, use the Hearthfire pricing.
There you go.
I do not see prices anywhere on the page I'm on right now.
Hang on. Here's the master listing. Hang on.
I only found that it has a CR of 6 apparently.
Here, enjoy Shax's indispensable haversack, which is a list of every single utility item from 3.5 that was anything near good.
Let's see.
You want a rock that turns water into soup? It's in there.
Does that mean we can get that rock too?
Yeah, it's called a soup stone. It's now a chemical item.
Soup. Just
It's
drop it in a
actually
lake.
Unironically has happened, and it took the Mages Guild like 3 weeks to fix it. Because it was an ecological disaster, and well, let's put it this way, that happened, and the local druid was in the vicinity, and it caused a fucking upset. A lot of alchemists died that day. And now, if anyone asks, you can't load it into a sling and use it to hit people and turn them into soup. Or their blood into soup. Nor can you bludgeon people with it. You will not turn them into the soup until they die, and then they'll turn into soup.
Considering Baz has holy water as blood now, would that work because it's water?
No, his blood
Holy soup.
acts like holy water.
Damn
All
it.
bodily fluids of priests above a certain rank count as holy water. That is just a matter of most churches. In theory, if you're a bishop, you could piss your way through most of from dusk till dawn.
Upon buying my Eventide outfit, can I go outside, hold it up in the sky, and be like, "Hey, Red, put your insignia on this"?
Does the clouds form the words, "Do I look like a fucking tailor"? The local tailor just walks up, grabs it, sharpies it on, here, Ingrid, and stomps downstairs. There are people down here who will do custom embroidery. It won't cost much. It's 5 gold tops to get custom embroidery.
Also,
Unless it's gold.
Mechanicus is asking what would happen about water elementals with the soup stone.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Full
Hydro
clap.
as well.
Okay, there are 2 outcomes. Either I say, unless it's dead matter, it does not turn into soup. Or I say, okay, fuck you, soup elemental.
Whoa. Start throwing.
Okay, water elemental, already pretty bad, can drown you. Now it's boiling hot, and it's got all sorts of gelatin in it, so it sticks like napalm.
I see.
And on top of that, you're getting beaten with poorly cooked carrot pieces. Also, it would depend on the variety of soup stone, because they do vary by flavour. I'd say it's a big jawbreaker of just completely compressed soup matter, and as each layer goes, it's a different soup. You can do it that way. In theory, they're infinite, I believe, if memory serves.
Oh shit, I need to take my therapy on the go. Very important.
By the way, for those who are a bit more squishy, it might be good to get some, healing. potions and
Oh,
items.
don't worry. I have salves. I also have stabilize as a potion on me.
Does the
Excellent.
guilds sell material that can be used to heal a negative energy creature?
A representative from the Church's Guild with a very prominent silver medallion around his neck will trot up in his big, like, gloomy, dark purple robes and just casually slap a 6-pack of dark brownish, brackish-looking liquid in finely made bottles. It literally looks like he has arrived with like a door-to-door salesman's 6-pack of Coca-Cola, but they're all negative energy potions.
Oh,
Is light okay?
Is light okay?
It's got Coke Diet written on it.
This is fine. Do you have more?
He's like, yep. He basically just points out back to like a 24-pack slab. You got to remember that necromancers have to learn too, and making potions is the easiest way to do it.
Is it possible to roll sense motive to see if he's bullshitting me?
Sure thing.
Why the fuck is Tanglefoot so expensive?
Because it is.
Because it's got a lot of utility support. Also, it's really powerful in the right hands.
21.
Oh,
I wouldn't lie to you, would I?
wink.
Can I use Knowledge Arcana on the potion, please?
You may.
That's a horrible roll. 18.
Yeah, same usual dark brackish liquid that you get with all like inflict spells. You could also get like an infernal healing wand, and that'll do the job because it works. Because it gives you fast healing. It works on undead as well.
How much is one?
Let's see. It's level 1 spell, so it is 750 gold. Sorry, it'll be 775. It'll be 765. Sorry, 75, because it needs 25 gold pieces for the unholy water. That is a ingredient in that.
Can't they just bring me water and I desecrate it myself?
Do you have desecrations in the fact? Or could you rather curse water?
No, I do not.
So, being made of negative energy is one thing. And you do naturally, like, wilt the crops if you're there too long. But it's a slow process. The ability to impart that natural, concentrated evil is more of a divine right.
I get to do that in one more level.
That's the spirit.
Wand of what again?
Infernal healing. 775 gold.
And did he tell me the price for his 7-pack of evil code red?
First of all, regular code red is evil code red, and I say that as an apologist for it. Secondly, regular potion pricing, so I believe... $50 gold each.
Can I have the whole 36?
We got the money.
I'm literally putting it down as evil code red.
Be my guest.
Let's just spring for the 24. And there, how many again?
50 gold piece each. There is no bulk discounts, unfortunately.
How many times
To get
can
that,
I
you need-
craft salve?
If it's just regular crafting,
E-
is this for the alchemy sphere or just regular crafting?
Alchemy. Craft alchemy.
What are you trying to figure out about it? Cost?
No, how
Daily
much
limit.
I can just make of it.
Oh, I think it's equal to your highest mental stat in terms of modifiers. So,
So 5. Okay.
yeah.
Would it be okay to assume I've made 5 of them, since on my first roll for
Certainly.
it I did succeed? Right?
Certainly. They have a batch brewing vat.
Very cool. Does the same count for smoke bomb and cherry bombs?
Again, yeah, it's a vat. They've got the batch brewing equipment, so you can one roll. Only you need to roll. Let's face it. No, I don't think anyone at home wants to sit around and watch all you jagovs and it's like carefully hand make each smoke bomb and see if there's any mishaps.
And then roll a nat 1.
Knowing
and the
us,
sun
that's going to go well.
So, finally, smoke bomb. The fucking world melts. Ecological disaster.
I might increase my debt with ironwood to 150 gold pieces to get a single use of Tanglefoot, and I would like to divide it into smaller usages.
Certainly.
I mean, making some items.
What tab was the consumable bombs in?
Chemical weapons.
Chemical weapons.
Yep, mundane, other alchemical weapons. It's one of the first entries. So again, got the second level thing. So look at that second edition Pathfinder thing. So I'm not adverse to beat you like that.
That's what I was forgetting. Tangle
You know
shot
what?
arrows.
Yeah. If you want to get the injector umbrella, Mark, you be my guest. But it will be more expensive.
I've got it.
But then again, you
pocket.
don't plan to actually pay these guys back, so it's a moot point anyway.
He already has it. Oh god. Okay, I think...
While
I
everyone
wanna
else is
play
doing
games.
their calculations, I'm spinning it around on my finger and practicing singing in the rain or something. You know, with my really high dance skills.
Got your Charlie Chaplin routine down.
Exactly.
I'd like to buy just berries. Some that just
Okay.
keep good, they don't even have to taste good.
Certainly, and wide variety of berries available.
Would 20 work as a thing?
Yeah. Enough to fully stock you up.
How much would that be?
Let's see.
Also, I do hope this isn't too boring for people.
Yeah, folks,
Unfortunately, we don't have the kind of table that role plays their way through shopping.
it's for the best to keep it nice.
It would take millennia.
Oh god, I wouldn't want to have to roleplay just so we can get 20 berries. And then God knows what
Yeah,
else again.
if you're going to like a shop like Mud Buddha's shop in the market and you're buying exotic magical plants, I'll roleplay that. I'm not role playing Jeff, who works in the dry goods store, flogging you like 3 bottles of coffee, like coffee tincture.
Actually, Jeff, could I have 5 pints of oil instead? Changed my life.
Sure.
It's like, oh, welcome to the alchemical bargain barn where you can get your alchemical bang for your buck. How can I help you?
It's literally just squeaky voice teen.
Oh, gee, Baz, why do you need so much iron oxide?
They burned down the building again. The boss will kill me. He's like, so, oh no, the magical items. And he's sort of reaching into place. Oh, over and over again. Like squeaky voice teen with the fryers and the keys.
Oh, it's funny as hell.
This is going to be really anticlimactic when you all walk in and die to like the first trap.
It would be funny, Bill. It would be funny.
I don't think people like the Shaggy Dog story either. Like, yeah, just saying.
Oh,
You're going to have to perform.
I want to get stuff for Albert.
Cambodian football nationals.
Is that the opposite of the aristocrats joke? Is the adventurers joke where they spend like an hour and a half like preparing, they walk in, die instantaneously?
Possibly.
Also, I just found the collar of spell sharing. So basically give a creature with the share spells ability, such as an animal companion familiar, wearing a spell sharing collar can benefit from the ability of any other creature wearing such collar. Oh god.
I think
Imagine
it's
Albert
because-
just fucking throwing around spells.
I mean, Albert can already do a little bit of magic.
He's a good boy.
Need to write down this.
It runs up to Almon like and like basically licks him on like the leg, like all dogs do, like slobber everywhere, and just like it's just like the searing pain of pure hellfire running up his legs. You can't.
Yes. My problem dog.
A creature that can move positive energy with basic touches.
He's a good boy.
I do honestly, I do like the usual like suburban hijinks of animals getting up to mischief, but it's with magical ones.
Oh yeah, how's Mr. Chubbs doing? Considering he's
Mr.
now of
Chubbs is
higher
feeling
intellect.
fine.
Does he have
He
any
hasn't stopped smiling.
recommendations?
You hear him humming like I'm walking on sunshine quietly to himself. He's a bit out of it.
I will poke his cheek softly.
And do we have a squeaky? Do we have a squeaky? Do we have a squeaky
I have
frog?
a
Like,
clown honk. If you want me to play that,
do it.
let me find it. Oh god, they've now introduced that a server needs to have higher server boost level, so you cannot play a few. Where is it?
You know what this'll do? Okay. He'll suddenly look at.
Oh, we're preparing for the dungeon. Anything I should get? I can
Rope.
list.
And he'll like lean back again into his absolute. He is high as fuck.
I have 50 feet of suck rope on me already.
Buy another one.
Okay. Just a normal rope. How much is just normal 50 feet of rope?
It is.
Wait, we probably have 50 feet of rope from the fucking ship from the beginning still. I don't need to pay.
Yeah, I think you do. So.
I could use more rope, but I also have a 700 and well, no, not 700, 170 feet of rope from what we collected in this room.
I should be fine with that much.
I
Also,
will
you can
take
alter
the
the height at which it
13
operates.
pitchforks. Oh god, why did we get so many pitchforks?
Better not be planning a counter-revolution, the pitchfork revolution.
Nah.
Oh no, the white terror's here.
Real
Fuck.
question.
That was way more dangerous than the red terror.
The real
White
question is when I
terror.
roll into the archery shop with the shopping list, and just they slap down on the table and it's like, I need arrows. How many arrows you need, bro? I need fucking arrows, mate. Arrows. Find me some.
Oh, what did you say? He literally like doesn't even move from the spot. He just slaps down like a whole like rack of them.
It's like a
Remember, all of our products are rated to a certain specification. Do not winch the fucking cable beyond the marked point. And he points on the crossbow. There is a clear line on the crossbow. Do not winch it behind this. Do not pull a wane. And he points out at the. It points back at a picture on the wall. It's a beautifully like Renaissance painting style rendition of a man next to what appears to be a ballista with a snapped string, and he's clutching his groin, and blood is everywhere.
You told me that story. That's hilarious.
Wayne is canon in the city.
In response, Armand will jiggle his body to make sure that they hear the bones rattling underneath. But I'll make sure to follow your directions. It's like he walks in, and it's like a sketch between a man that's just like, I need meat. It's like, sir, we're in a butcher shop. I need meat. And he's like, no, I need meat. You need meat? I need meat. What kind of meat? Ham. Walks in the back, comes back with a giant slab of ham. 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 It's one of those moments.
just constant. I know you heard me say I want a lot of eggs, and I mean all the eggs and bacon you have. But yeah, a crossbow. You will say, like, whilst the construction is somewhat basic, it's one of those ones where it's so basic that there's nowhere to hide. The quality is very good, and for the masterwork, it's exceptional. Whoever made this definitely knew what they were doing.
It's like
Do you want the steel prod or the wood?
Just walks up, tests the bow, tests the heave. How far back can I pull this drawstring?
He points to the sign, nothing beyond the blue line.
Nice and
Goat's,
tight.
goat's foot or winch?
Need a composite, longbow, winch, your dest.
Okay, that's on the table. And we got more out back if you want those, but no, you offer a light crossbow, correct?
Yeah, let's see here. What did I put on the list? I put down, yes, light crossbow.
Yeah, I suppose we usually go with the goat's foot with those little ones, but yeah, to each their own. Here you go, is the Arbalest winch.
Just test it, starts flinging it around the room.
Please be careful with the fucking weapon.
And he's like going around the room, like test firing it, like he's in a fucking firing range.
You pull the trigger, and it's like it doesn't misfire, but it doesn't fire. He points to the other side of the wall. All weapons are peace bonded until end of sale. And you'll note down that on the safety, there is like a little wax seal.
Mm-hmm.
Need to go to the range out. I'd say you need to go to the range out back, but that's back at my shop, which I think is currently on fire.
How don't you worry, mate. When I come
Whose
back,
desk is this? He looks down the desk.
when I come back, I'll make sure to have a seal of approval.
They already do, son. They already do.
Not until they've killed their first target.
Like I said, they already do, son. They already do. We do have to practice and do some Q&A. Or rather, some QA. But that's quality assurance. QA is we take QA very important. With that sentence in the air, you begin to think that this might be why the goblins do not like the adventurers very much.
Okay, I have
That also,
put together how much I'm spending. 2,940 gold.
ooh,
Dang. Time to write it out.
Now, these damage charts is the
Han, a kettlebell, £20 or otherwise, does have a price, you bastard.
Yeah, but I have the recover aura ability, so I can just pull aura out of the ground. There's a reason I only use it for mundane shit.
Now, these damage
Mundane my ass, I've seen what you do, kettlebells, in this game.
Now, Bill, this damage chart for small and medium, is that for the type of bow size or the target that's being hit?
That's the size of the weapon itself. So if it's a small crossbow, it uses the small value.
And across for the same for the composite longbow?
Yes.
Okay.
Do I have
it's
to
gonna be
specify which potions I'm getting, or can I just write down the general price of all potions combined?
Let's put them down in like as a mass, but just let me know after the fact.
Yeah.
It's like screenshot the listings when you write them down on your sheet.
I
Do
can
write them
just
down on your sheet.
I put it on a sketchbook page, so I'm gonna just send you a picture of this.
Excellent.
There might be
I get
some small things
antsy
that-
whenever Han buys a box of Dragon Bolts.
I mean,
Alright.
it's a perfectly fine item. It's perfectly balanced.
Why do? Yeah, exactly. That's why you've got 20 hours of lamp oil and no lamp.
Oh, I already have one. I have a lantern.
Oh yeah, you did get one earlier, didn't you?
Well, it's because I started with that one like very good equipment package called the Rune Delver package.
Oh, that one, yeah. Forgot about
Okay, Bill, you're gonna have to enjoy my chaotic page.
Actually, I don't have that package. I think I just got it like all the way back when in the game.
that. Yeah, I think we started with like a bunch of lanterns as part of the stuff
we
that washed
got
ashore
like
with you.
12
Yeah.
oil lamps at one point, so
Just keep in mind, there's oil lamps, not lanterns. Oil lamps like the kind that genies pop out of.
we might
Where it's
have
like a little handle thing.
lanterns.
I think you did as
recall.
well.
Yeah, like I
Can I keep
specifically marked down the search.
And that masterwork, is that a +2 conferred to attack and damage roll?
Oh,
Just attack.
It's a masterwork is +1 to hit.
I'm
okay.
also taking that water skin we got all the way back with us.
Yeah. I will say that realistically, not statistically speaking, but realistically, the build of just 13 people with pitchforks going through a cave is really hard to beat. Like from an actual like logistical standpoint of real life, 13
So-
motherfuckers with pitchforks.
Didn't work out very well for the cannibals in the forest.
Yeah,
They found out what a pike block is.
yeah. You can't have motherfuckers know anything about Hemo or anything like that. Like play the forest. It just turns into imperialism simulator.
Honestly, it was
Now,
a
Bill.
good time to just use the spears and just bully them.
Now, Bill, speaking of long-range weapons, if I chose to tie a object like a 10-foot pole, but I chose to sharpen the edge point on the end, and I flung it through the air, could I use it as a meteor weapon?
I would say a sharpened 10-foot pole is called a javelin. Improvised or otherwise, or a spear, or a ballista bolt if you put fletchings on it. Now, what was it? What weapon was he wanting it to count as? Sorry.
Meteor.
It's not a
What would that specifically pertain to? Because there's a lot of different things that have that name.
I don't think meteor weapons have a weapon class inside of Pathfinder that specifically type them. But we're gonna find out.
That is a meteor hammer, but not sure about.
Yes, I'd say that's what I know from meteor hammers, which are just like a big basically a kettlebell on a chain.
Mm-hmm. But it would be an object tied to a rope being flung around with rope trick.
Oh, I pick up what you're throwing down. It would last one shot. It would be ammunition at that point. The amount of torque involved in using rope trick to be used as a projectile.
Kind of functions as an atlatl almost.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
a really strong atlatl. And those do take like a full round action to like reset.
Also,
Yeah,
an
but
atlatl has a
rope.
crit range, has like a crit multiplier of ×4, I believe. Quite nasty.
It is here in the sheet. I actually looked at it because I kept debating what I wanted to use, and I thought to myself, I already have an atlatl, but Bill will just say no.
No, I'll just say yes, but it lasts one shot. Then you have to retire. It's a pain in the ass. It's way cheaper and easier to just buy like 23 shoelaces and use those as like as javelin cords.
Now, inside the shopping list, it lists its crit range as ×2. I am going to look at Pathfinder really fast to find it.
Okay.
Is my
I think-
shopping list approved? Anything that has prices next to it is what has been bought. The other stuff is just what I will be taking.
With the good berry, is that potions
that is a
or is
potion. That's why I bought just
Okay.
20 normal berries, because good berry potion turns 2d4 normal berries into good berries.
that
for,
okay?
like, 8
Those
hours.
those will arrive as jars of cherries and in cherry cocktail sauce.
Ooh.
Cocktail syrup.
Ooh.
Actually, wait, no. This is Licia. Kirsch.
Oh. Like for Schwarzwälder Kirschtorte?
Yes. The cherry liqueur that they put on that tastes like petrol.
It actually does not tell me its crit range. That's weird.
I think it just extends the range of the weapon you use it with, which is usually a javelin.
If you look at the thing I posted in players chat, there it is. So 1d6
Okay, there
times
it is.
4.
Okay.
Oh, that's the exotic version. That's why.
Uh-huh.
That's from Leaving Lightfingers.
Yeah.
That's the fancy version. Think of that as another pattern of it. Both are available. Just remember, different weapons will have different stat blocks from different books. They are both available for the most part. Just one will be a different pattern. Just note down which type.
Now that we've discussed that, Bill, if I wanted to buy some spears with coated tips, how much would they charge me?
What would you like them coated with, sir?
What do I want them coated with? What would you
Now,
suggest?
I will note this here. Currently you are speaking to someone who's just referred to as Smith, and he is the head of the crafting branch of the Fighters Guild, basically the Foresters Guild.
What have you been experiencing in the Underdark recently?
Well, usually all manner of horrors down there, sir. It varies between the drow getting up their old tricks, or every now and then you might get a batch of reavers come up, or even the occasional void spawn, but you usually know when they're coming because all the reavers run away. You can always tell how dangerous it is by what's running away.
I want bleeding, paralysis, and drow poison.
Having more than one on at the same time is a bit tricky, sir, as they do tend to denature when mixed.
No, not on the same spear at the same time.
I could sell you some weapon capsules if you'd like to have more than one available to you.
How much?
A weapon capsule set is 150 gold pieces. That'll give you 3 chambers of it. And it is reusable. It can be festooned to whichever weapon you wish. It's literally a cable with like 3 capsules on that are refillable.
Can they fit on this adventurer's belt?
They can fit almost anywhere, sir.
I'll take it.
There you go, sir. He'll write you an invoice. Handwriting's impeccable, and the craftsmanship is just... This looks like it was machined, but it was like forged. You can tell, but it's that finely done. And that's attached. Any weapon it's attached to it basically has a swift action to put a poison on it.
Lovely. How much?
That's 700. That's 150 gold pieces for the 3-shot capsule. Keep in mind that you will have to try and requisition poison if you're buying it from these guys. They will not sell majority of poisons to people, simply because poison is a very highly controlled substance. Poisons in general, that is.
Do they have drow poison on hand?
They do not. Currently, drow poison has not been resynthesized.
Pooh. I'm gonna have to take off the drow poison bolts.
The only way to get them is through actual trade with the drow. There are drow who do trade to the regular adventuring guilds, but they're few and far between because they tend to be pricks and they tend to price gouge.
How much for the mixture for bleeding?
That is Vampire's Kiss, which is, I believe, 75 gold pieces a dose. That will cause bleeding and also increase bleeding by to twice its normal amount.
And how much would I need to fill 2 capsules?
2.
And how much are they a piece?
75 gold pieces each.
And how was it spelled again?
Vampire's Kiss, like the film.
I would like 10, please. How many uses does one confer?
It's 1 dose to 1 use. Poison is expensive. This is what you are technically buying is particularly potent rat poison. You meant to dilute it, but you can use it for like big targets if you don't dilute it.
And for paralysis?
Unfortunately, paralysis poison is not really available, as the lowest level paralysis poison is wyvern venom, which is 1, extraordinarily rare, and 2, prohibitively expensive. It's like, I think, 1,500 gold pieces a dose.
Do they have a slowing concoction?
I'll check. They can sell you. Oh, that's 1,500 gold pieces. What's your price point? Like, what are you looking to pay for a dose or something? I can give you the quick equivalent.
Up to 100 gold.
Oh, that narrows it down. Okay. That's ingested, so that's useless. That is common wisdom damage, that's useless. They can sell you for 50, which is, I believe, 50 gold pieces a dose. Fire jackal saliva or goblin's eye. Well, the goblin's eye is ingested, so I think your best bet is fire jackal saliva.
And what is the quality?
It is an injury poison. It does 1d6 acid damage and causes nausea. It does have a low DC at 12, but a lot of creatures in the Underdark are quite susceptible to poison because they're bred to be.
I will take 10 as well. How much?
That is 50 gold pieces per dose. And they do literally just look like something is spat into a jar.
It'd be funny if they had a fire jackal like that was domesticated, or just a normal fire jackal just walk into the room and be like.
Someone in the countryside does. Someone literally in the countryside has one and just like, and just has it, and just like feeds it lifesavers all day. No, it's not even that. It's way more bootleg than that. It's like a pack of sherbet lemons, and it just feeds them one by one. Let's try and find a vessel that actually hold the ass. I've actually never even seen fire jackal saliva before now. That must be new or old. In any case,
Trying to think if I can justify buying multiple spears and cramming them in the bag of holding.
You can certainly try. You could just get like a little trolley of them. A golf bag. But you'll be towing along like multiple, like 7-foot long spears.
Mm-hmm. I suppose javelins would be easier. They weigh less.
Yeah, you can just tow around the back of them, no problem. Average quiver, I think you can have like a quiver like 3 to 5 of them.
By the way, Bill.
Yep.
I would like to. Are there any like special wooden materials that weapon shafts can be made out of that are interest?
Wire root lets you drain people's life force to get key. Seren wood can hit incorporeals naturally. What's the other one? Whipwood gives you bonus versus, I think, disarm. A bonus versus sunder as well. Darkwood is just more durable, nicer. Living steel is technically wood.
Really?
Yeah, it's a tree. It's living steel is the wood of a tree that has grown into an iron deposit.
Right.
If you had a living steel weapon and you put it in the garden cloak, it would grow.
That's nightmarish.
Yes. But as fixed, that's what it does when you do that, so it's not that exciting. It just repairs itself.
Yeah. What I'm mainly trying to figure out is if I were to use the combination of the Devil's Pen knife and the Acanthus ritual dagger to carve a wooden shaft for like a, let's say, 10-foot pole. Because you mentioned it will imbue it with magic. Seeing as it's been stuck in the heart of a troll for like the better part of a day by now, what level of magic would it bestow upon said weapon shaft or 10-foot pole?
It would be, at this point, it can either be a +1 troll. It can be a +1 troll bane, which would not be terribly stable, but it would be like short term useful, or long term just troll bane.
Right.
That'd be more stable.
Okay, I'll just leave it in there for a bit longer then.
Okay.
Leave it to marinate.
Honestly, with the sustenance it has currently, it's about as marinated as it's going to get. The Devil's Pen knife was really traditionally used for more, I'm in a pinch, I need something.
Right.
Versatility, rather than long-term stuff.
Ah, I see, so it's not really like a permanent enhancement necessarily.
It'll last you, but most of the things that you can make with it are fragile at best of times.
Right, that's good to know. Okay.
It'll last until it breaks. Then it'll need to be redone.
Now for the hard part, putting it all inside of my fucking gear list.
I should... Okay, Carl, as you're walking away, could you roll me a perception check, please? Most of your doses of vampire kiss are completely fine. You notice that one vial towards the bottom of the pack is more purple than red.
Let's see here.
It looks like a cap might have been mislabeled.
Roll Arcana. Jesus fucking Christ.
Roll it. Sorry, I've been starved for action whilst you've been doing your shopping. I'm getting antsy.
Fair.
$75, $72. Also, a very important question. Is there someone in the Mages Guild that can apply Ghost Touch to the equipment?
Okay. I'm not sure if it was mentioned already, but just a bit ago, Captain 45 saying gift time. Hello?
Hello?
I keep forgetting I'm on push stop. Don't worry, Cat. I have spotted it. It has been implemented.
Okay. Cool. Also, I shall be combining sneezing powder with smoke grenade.
Good lord, have mercy.
Don't worry, Bill. We'll be fine.
Yes. Welcome to Umbrella Gang, Carl. Your crossbow, when it's not in use, turns in. Looks a lot like an umbrella.
Fun.
Also, what was the curse that just happened?
That was the umbrella crossbow. Look at the bright side. You got the frames all in place. Just have to get it upgraded, then you can have it as a shield.
Sneezy smoke a bomb.
Didn't realize we were shopping at the Kingsman store.
I'm more of a Black Lagoon kind of man myself. We travel in style. But yeah, you don't know what this purple stuff is. A bluey purple colour.
Can I bring it to Eris and have her do a check?
Eris, to you, this stuff glows.
What do you mean glows? I'm not even using detect magic.
I know. It glows.
What is my innate knowledge I'd want to use on that?
Alchemy.
Alchemy. Wait, knowledge alchemy?
Crack alchemy. Or Arcana.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, Jed.
Hello.
Just in time.
Help the
Doing some
fight.
dungeon crawling. Oh, we're just wrapping up the
Prep.
14.
no one knows
plus
what these berries
alchemy.
are.
But
But
hold on.
you
Arcana,
Oh.
and I'd like to use nature too.
certainly. These are a natural poison.
Arcana. And then nature.
You know why these are glowing to your vision. These are moonberries. Small bluish purple berries that resemble wild grapes. They are extraordinarily poisonous and are often mixed with food or crushed into steel and weapons or objects. This is a contact or ingested poison. Fortitude DC 18. Onset 1 round. Damage 3d6 con damage.
We're
Oof.
This is a 1,500 gold pieces per dose poison.
Why do
Hot.
you
'Cause it's
call it
basically
that?
You got a mislabeled vial.
Oh no. Boss didn't check the fucking label. Sold it to me.
You notice the top of the cap says Vampire's Kiss. The vial is not labeled. The label has peeled off in time.
Oh no!
I will repeat back what those are to Amon.
Oh, sounds like we got a deal. That's going right in the pouch.
Do I have any idea what it would do to me as a skinwalker? Especially since I have all the moon bullshit going on.
Okay, with your knowledge, you know what makes moonberries. Moonberries exist because a substance called mond milk seeps. It is the condensation of moonlight underground, and gravity reacts to it in the opposite fashion because only the gravity of the moon affects it, so it naturally seeps upwards. On a place where the water level is low enough, or there's a large cavern below, the mond milk can eventually make it into the water table, and if it nourishes a grape plant, it will be transmuted into a moonberry plant, or any kind of fruit-bearing plant will be transmuted by it. The reason it causes con damage is because it literally summons nightmares inside your blood.
Based.
Mental
the-
note
these
to not
plants
mix
are
them
the-
up with the curse.
These are essentially these vials of juice, or more, it's actually more of a jam, really, are the result of the living embodiment of the fear of poisoning.
Ah, yes. The beauty this is.
Wait, if I had like moonberries to hand like the actual ones, not jam or juice version, and use good berry on it, would that work? Like the potion
Yeah.
berry?
Yes, and well, you're not sure what would happen, but it would on paper it would be converted into a good berry, therefore be edible.
Okay, so
Traditionally, good berries cast on mistletoe or hollybush berries, which are both pretty poisonous.
I do think I have.
Especially if you name boulder and usually on vortal. Mistletoe is extremely bad news bears.
Mistletoe on me, so. Oh yeah, Bill, could you let me know again what the honey did that Captain gifted me? Because I still have 2 servings of it I've not used.
Honey, you've double check which version we're on. Because I had 2 versions of it, I can never remember which ones are which.
Because I know it's not the version that changes to plant.
I think this is the version that allows them to cast, like, I believe, manipulate stone, manipulate sand.
As
Captain,
in,
help me out here. I can never remember it.
Or like a permanent spell they learn in a sense, or just for one time.
Okay, twice per day, sand call. Equal to stone call, except it summons a mass of sand on the enemy. It can be used to extinguish fires. Also, it can be used to pocket sand people.
I'll hand one to Mr. Chubbs.
Captain sounds like mentioned to you. I can see him typing. It's all good, Captain.
Has Shademaster walked into the building where we are getting supplies?
He's currently not in the voice chat, so.
Aw.
Might have gotten DC'd, yeah.
I thought he said he was off the plane and he was getting home.
It might be just he went through a bad patch with the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Shade, if you can hear us, join us.
Join us, Shade. Join us. Join us.
Join us.
Ah. Bill, how much is a bag of flour again?
Okay, now I'm curious. What the hell are you gonna do with a bag of flour?
I think I saw.
What can't you do with one?
A bag of flour is extremely versatile.
It's like 2 copper pieces, but for you it's 5.
The bust.
You know what? For you it's a gold piece. Fuck you. Here's a gold piece. You can buy a 16-kilo sack of it.
Why did I find an egg roll recipe? While I'm
Fine.
trying to look up for flour.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, what? Additional salty ingredients allow you to change the damage dealt to electricity. Huh? Egg rolls are fried wrapper, rolled and cut into squares, and filled with meats and vegetables. But what the fuck is this spelling of vegetables? I'm gonna put it on players.
Okay, I've been
chat.
told
What the
there's
fuck is
there's been an update to the honey so that it can be used on people.
Ah. So what the fuck is this spelling of vegetables? D20 FPFSRD.
Vegetables.
Vegetables. When completed, an egg roll can be consumed if thrown immediately as your attack. If consumed, that heals you for an amount of damage equal to 2d6, your intelligence or wisdom modifier. If thrown, it acts as an alchemist bomb and deals fire damage. You are a
So what was
proficient
this?
egg roll.
Oh, this is from one of the fucking this is from one of the chef classes. Hey Shade, you're just in time
No,
to
it's an
find something.
alternate rule system for cuisine.
Awesome.
Oh god, the cuisine rule systems. The book of many things, decidedly laughable. They put out another book, and I never heard about it. The bastards!
I'm just confused.
Those sons of bitches put out another book, and I never heard about it. Damn it, Sheepdog Games.
Battle chefs and culinarian recipes.
Some of the best and worst memes and tropes you can
Family
think of.
recipes.
You can play as a gingerbread man.
Bruh.
I'm just confused why it deals fire damage.
This is from the meme book.
I
That's
see.
why. We'll get to that later. I'll have to try to copy that later on.
Bolognese.
I have purchased the 35-pound bag of flour.
Excellent.
And the composite longbow +2. What was the attack and damage bonuses?
Okay, +2 just gives you up to +2 damage. Up to like your strength.
Okay.
Up to strength mod. If you have a strength mod below 2, you will be taking penalties because you can't physically span it.
Okay, I'll have to downgrade it to +1 then.
Captain, for $5, Han's turn.
I'm unsure what this entails.
I'll have to downgrade both the crossbow and the bow to +1 then.
What do you mean by this?
He has a message with details.
See, Mark is purchasing some laborers, by the looks of it.
Laborers as in people?
Yeah.
Yeah,
To go down into the cave.
Lives.
Yeah, you can.
No,
you can
I'm just
you
gonna
can-
free them.
I
Some
should
of
say
them will
that
stick
slaves are a
around, I'm
different
sure.
price. They're 100 slaves are 100 gold pieces each. That's the
Alright,
fancy
my
ones in the
bad.
5 grand. You're using the labourer rules, which are just actual hirelings.
No,
They-
but
they're just working
I'm
still.
just gonna free them all. Like, and if they want to stay and fight for free, then they can.
Oh god. 100 slaves? What the
I figure I'll get a gang of at least 3.
Does the island
Okay.
have
Oh,
that
dear.
many people?
Yes, got quite a few.
Okay.
That'll get you. It'll get you 75 sickly slaves. All standard, basic bitch like household tasks. That'll get you 75 houseboys.
I can make
Ah,
noodle
fuck
soup.
it, I'm not. I'll
You
get
want-
the 1,000 price. Get workers.
They're not extending you 10 grand credit to buy slaves.
Based. Bill, in the line for repeating attack ID mod, what was the number that was supposed to go there? Because I'm pretty sure bows do not do repeating attacks unless they're modified to do so.
Gorilla.
Repeating attacks
Yeah.
are for just if you got a high bab.
Okay. So I would put 0 here.
It's just. I don't think you don't need to put anyone in. It should be unticked by default.
Okay.
I saw a listing that said Clouder of Cats, but for some reason I misread it and thought it said Chowder of Cats.
No.
Delicious.
Yes.
Honestly, seeing
Coming to a
this,
takeaway
Nice
near
oriental
you.
spicing.
seeing this like thing with the alternate rule system of cuisine, it's making me want to like make just a cooking lady at some point, so I can just
Just doing
make
a test
spring
roll.
rolls and throw them at people. Wait, why does spring roll give me detect magic?
Han, bishop
Yes.
class. Does it get channeling?
I'm afraid it does not. Like, it can bless corpses to prevent them from rising and cast holy light, but it cannot channel energy.
Okay, just want to double check something. This has been a very strange episode so far, I must say. We found out some bewildering things.
Indeed.
I can't get over. I can make mac and cheese.
Someone's
Hold
we're
on.
going to track down that PDF now.
When you make mac and cheese, when consumed, it entangles the target for the duration. Honestly, I get
That
it.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Just pure carb crash.
Rice gives you non-lethal damage, DR.
Yeah, it seems how well the Chinese military's going.
Can be consumed alone, as soup, fried, or boiled. Wait, consumed alone, not boiled. Huh, crunchy.
You'll be careful frying rice. It'll start an argument online.
I'll make pancakes then. What do I get? Pancake grants a +3 morale bonus on thievery and use magic device checks.
What did they mean by this?
I don't know.
Sorry.
Okay. What other one should I look at?
Okay, whilst you sort that out, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break for myself, just so I can use the facilities and make sure that Aiden hasn't died. I shall be back shortly.
Okay.
Croissant. What does the croissant do? When consumed, the croissant grants natural attacks and weapons wielded by the target the ability to overcome damage reduction silver for the duration. Okay. Ooh, brisket. This one's for Zalmas. When consumed, brisket grants an augury effect as a spell, but only looking up to 10 minutes into the future. They have churros.
Oh god, what does it do?
When completed, a churro can be held in one hand, granting a +5 shield bonus to AC for the duration.
I see.
Additional ingredients increase the serving size and shield bonus by +1 each, and allow the churro to be consumed for a fire shield effect, as a spell which lasts for 1 round per level.
Wait, that means there's literally no upper limit to the amount of shield bonus you can get from it.
Eat
You
the
could just-
churros.
You could literally hold, like, a
It has
box
a-
of churros and just be unhittable.
Has a duration of 1 minute per level, though.
See.
And you need to be a friturier of level 3.
I see.
They have several different types of bread.
Get that bread.
Oh. Sourdough bread gives you the ability to call birds from up to a mile away. These birds can
That
give
is
general
surprisingly
answers
potent.
to questions asked, as if using a non-magical speak with animals effect. For example, you could ask if there's drinkable water in the area, the location of predators or other creatures, directions to a mountaintop or other natural features, and so on. And the local bird communities would answer to the best of their ability.
That is hilariously powerful.
Cube steak? Why is it a cube? It grants an attack that can be made with proficiency for the duration. The attack counts as one-handed melee weapon in that hammer family that deals 1d6 strength modifier, bludgeoning damage, a critical multiplier of 3. I'm confused by this one. There's so many. There's just so many recipes. Oh, there's pepper strike that grants you true strike.
A what?
Pepper steak.
See.
It grants you true strike.
That really makes the Gamond class terrifying. We could just consume a whole buffet at once and just become nightmarish.
Fried ice cream? Why? When consumed, fried ice cream deals 1d6 damage per level, maximum 15d6. Half of this damage is
funny.
cold and the other half is fire. I don't even know anymore.
Were crossbows strength or dex based?
I believe Dex since
Dex to hit.
they're ranged.
Okay. These bows are long. It's +1.
Cheesecake. Huh. Cheesecake gives you 1d8 luck bonus on a roll.
That makes perfect sense, doesn't it? I would have guessed that.
There's a
Yes.
heart attack burger. When consumed, a heart attack burger grants the ability to recover from deadly wounds with restored vitality and a will to fight, but at a price. The burger immediately
a heart
causes
attack.
1d4 points of intelligence and wisdom damage, but grants a +4 enhancement bonus to constitution and strength damage reduction. 5 minus? And the benefits of a haste spell. In addition, it heals 48 points of damage plus 1 point per culinary level, maximum +25? Oh god. If served to a creature that has died within 1 round, it can even save the creature from death by healing the damage from an otherwise mortal wound. The fuck? Consuming a heart attack burger counts as triggering a resurgent transformation spell, and doing either more than once in a day is particularly risky. Consuming a second heart attack burger in a 24-hour period inflicts an additional 1d4 points of constitution damage and results in death from system shock, unless you succeed at DC 15 save.
Good.
I see. The save is only after you get the constitution damage, though.
That's rough.
It do be rough. Just imagine fully specking into heart attack burgers. It's the only thing you offer in like a new set up shop in a restaurant.
By the way, there are abilities in this game that will just allow you to shove food down someone's throat and force them to consume it.
You shove
It's just the guy.
several.
It's just the Gordon Ramsay Guy Fieri class.
Oh god.
Yeah.
He's gonna take you to Flavor Town.
One last trip.
Yeah.
The final trip.
The other 2 burgers give either like retreat or haste. Bechamel?
Oh, the sucky part is gonna be figuring out how to fucking list ammunition on here.
I personally have ammunition listed in the special under the weapon. Oh right, you don't use Mafweathers, sorry.
Yeah, roll 20's kind of ass. Also, I figured out what the repeating attack line is. That's not a repeating attack line for ammunition. That's under an additional tax. This is the actual modification line for the attack bonus. That is poorly fucking labeled in script. Oh my god.
Fresh pasta salad gives you a +6 bonus on saving throws against curses, hexes, and negative emotion-based effects. God damn.
That's what we call soul food. I ate mama's special fried chicken. I ain't scared of nothing.
No, it's fresh pasta
comfy
salad. I don't
Oh
think
wait, do they have chicken?
Let me see.
They must.
Clearly, there must
Chicken
be a person
and
who
waffles.
ran. Yes, there clearly has
Dude.
to have been a person that ran out like a chef class as a soul food cook that specializes in hard-stopping food, loaded with butter and margarine, and made with the finest fucking alchemical ingredients.
Chicken and waffles, when consumed, it allows the target to sit peacefully for up to 8 hours and still gain all benefits of a full night's rest without actually sleeping.
That's just the itis.
Oh, they have grilled cheese. When consumed, it acts as tanglefoot bag. The fuck does that mean? Tanglefoot bag is a small sack filled with tar, resin, and other sticky substances. Oh no. Now, if you eat it yourself, does this mean you have put Tanglefoot bag on yourself? Or does it mean you can throw that at someone?
I returned.
Hello,
Welcome back.
Bill. Would you be interested in a heart attack burger? Which will,
Oh, no.
if you eat a second one within 24 hours, you must succeed a DC 15 fortitude save or die.
I'm sorry, I'm on the keto. I can't eat bread.
What can we give you that does not have bread? Bechamel sauce. Wait, no, that's flour.
That's flour that you asshole.
Get fucked.
Bill, what modifier is a javelin?
It's 1d6, 30-foot range, and it has a -2 to attack in melee. It's awkward. Let's tape it weirdly.
It doesn't have a modifier for its attack type?
Oh, for attack type, it's dex to throw, strength to damage.
I'm not going to be using it in melee, Bill.
So yeah, dex to throw, using ranged, and it's strength for your damage modifier. And I believe as a ghost, you use dex for both.
Yes.
Do we have everything we need? Because we've been going on for quite some time doing prep.
You've been prattling on for like 2 hours about this.
Yes.
Yes, that's why I've been looking at the recipes.
I need to know how to list ammunition for the weapons that have ammunition.
Just note down the side, mate. I trust you not to take the piss. You can always pick them back up afterwards.
There is a turducken recipe, which is a turkey stuffed with a chicken, stuffed with a duck, and then with stuffing. It causes
Don't make me think about it.
implosion.
I miss stuffing. That is a level 9 spell that can kill a whole room of people. I think it might be level 7 or 8, but it's a very high level offensive clerical spell. Alright. Any other purchasing wanting to be done? We all good to go?
I think so.
Hopefully something to keep the canary in check.
Alright with me buying this electric bicycle, right? This clockwork bicycle.
Are you gonna just...
For my common,
God.
for my rider outfit, like makes perfect sense.
I'm seriously confused on how to list the ammunition inside of Roll20.
Don't worry about it. It's right down somewhere.
Okay.
Put it in the blue spot that you're not using for your oil.
Where would that be?
If you double click your character and go to details, it'll have token bars. Second one down.
Okay.
But is it? Can everyone?
I believe you cut out, Bill.
Can everyone see?
Yes.
The map, yes.
Did I do it correctly with the numbers thing?
Okay, so 24 health.
Mm-hmm.
12 out of 12 for hours of fuel.
Yes.
And 4 out of 4 for...
Yes, I have 4 days of rations, but due to the good berry, since it is a 2d4 potion thing, I cannot know just yet how much more rations I will have.
Okay.
So
It's always the way with cocktail cherries, you never know how many in the jar.
Yeah, that too.
What was the green bar again? Or the green circle?
Health.
And what was the red circle?
Food supply. In your case, it would just use spell slots. Whatever. Blue for you, blue for ammo, red for spell slots. Yeah.
Individual spell slots?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're a sorcerer, you might find yourself having to convert, like, down to level 1s or something.
can turn wontons into shuriken. Wait.
That is dreadfully racist.
When completed, each wonton counts as a shuriken of your size category. Does it mean if a medium creature makes them, it'll be a medium size?
Yeah, if they're medium, if they're sized for a wonton, essentially sized for like a single bite. So
Okay.
They can also be consumed to grant a non-magical stabilize effect.
hey, that's pretty good. Mind you, if you are unconscious, which is what you'd be if you needed to stabilize, you're not going to be in a position to eat dumplings. Maybe it's a soup dumpling.
Fine.
No, it's just wonton. Fried wrapper, rolled and cut into squares and folded over itself into a triangle and fried. Can be filled with cheese, meats, and other fillings.
Cheers.
I was about to say, yeah, it doesn't sound like, we're just going to deep fry the wrapper.
They do have
13.
Good.
a wing is a bite-sized morsel of eggs. Huh? Oh, I'm dumb. No, it's just fried chicken. When consumed, it grants an effect based on the additional ingredient added. Bitter, the wing creates a doom effect. What is a doom effect?
AoE debuff.
Does anybody else hear that?
Yep.
Yeah, like the blowing sound in the background. It's gone now.
Yes, the wind ambience I've had on since we've started.
No, that's different.
It was particularly noticeable.
Yeah, that
But
patch
it's
of it is louder.
Alright, that makes sense then.
Because currently that's the only sound the whole town is the sound of the wind, and it's making a horrific... It's similar to what's called the alazif. It's a phenomenon in the desert where the sound of the sand blowing in the wind makes this horrible kind of shuffling, shrieking noise. Alazif literally means the howling of demons. It's actually Necronomicon's initial name was Alazif.
Mm-hmm.
So it was meant to be handed down to Alhazred from the gods themselves. Thus the howling of demons. If anyone wants to purchase the Necronomicon, it is readily available. It's the redacted version, calm down.
Wait, if I give that and feed that to Mr. Chubbs, what would happen?
Do not!
Why not?
It's the redacted
Boring, just
version.
kind of shady shifts his eyes.
Yeah, but it will give him ideas.
He already has ideas. He's a smart boy.
If you want a real copy, you can get you one.
No.
What, you don't have one already?
No, I have another book, but I don't know what the fuck it is. Just doesn't open.
Bill, the effective range of a thunderstone when thrown.
It's a 10-foot range.
I thought that was
Seems
the
any-
splash range.
Ooh, couscous.
But it's a 10 range increment. You might want to whip it a couple of feet further than the first increment.
Okay.
Oh, Bill, did you see my message?
Let's see. I think it's been changed to 1. The honey inside the bottle has crystallized into one large mass.
Oh. It's just like a weird bottle of honey that's just both the glass merged too. I see.
Okay. Captain, I hate that I'm going to have to download this.
Oh no.
Han,
Yes.
you have been handed something in with your new gear by mistake.
Excellent. A happy accident. What might it be?
It's an unattended bag. Or box, rather.
I see.
Okay.
Also, Eris will start just
I am happy.
eating it. The honey.
Could I appraise the backpack?
You may.
Alright.
Why'd it have to be GT? That's like the second worst one. Well, third worst. Okay, so let's go to Dragon Ball and Z. That's about it.
26.
Super, it's touch and go. Okay, 26. That will get you. I should say this is. This does appear to be magical. And I believe. What's the DC on appraising magical items?
If need be, I can also help if you ask us.
Yeah, I'll hand it over to Eris.
It seems dreadfully expensive, is what you can tell. Even though it just seems to be like a simple children's toy.
Detect magic.
Ping, moderate concentration in illusion.
Can I look behind the illusion?
No, it's, as in that's what the aura is.
Oh.
It's cast level 10.
Jesus.
I'm just gonna give it back and just be like, don't break it.
Could I roll spellcraft? Trying to like figure
Yeah.
out what exactly it does.
I will assist to your spellcraft.
$25.
Oh no, I'm seeing why he's giving this to you.
Oh, I did not mean to be clicking things. My bad.
Okay.
No.
But both of you know what it is,
Hmm.
I believe, just. Because I think it's 15 plus spell plus cast level, so.
Ah,
I'm aiding.
And if I'm wrong, then I'm. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I refuse to admit defeat. So just here you go.
Well,
Sun
what have you been
Wukong's
given?
Puzzle box.
Gonna have to repeat that.
Sun Wukong's puzzle box.
Yeah, no, Eris is not touching that. I don't trust puzzles. They sometimes have poems in them and rhyme.
It's an incredibly awkward children's toy. It's also a holy symbol of the Monkey King. Once per day as a standard action, you can unlock the puzzle box to create two effects. First, a shower of golden sparks that envelop the user, causing them to become invisible and immediately teleporting them 20 feet in a direction of their choice. And secondly, a monkey swarm bursts into the square. Monkey!
No.
Although the monkey swarm isn't under the control of the user, the monkeys keep at least 20 feet from the user at all times and attempt to surround as many opponents as possible. This effect is otherwise acts as mad monkeys with a CMB of plus 12.
Oh.
Both the
Thank you,
invisibility and the monkey swarm last for 10 rounds. Monkey!
Huh.
Monkey!
Monkey.
Gorian just
Monkey
positions
man.
himself right next to
Monkey
Baz.
Sun Wukong is frowned upon because he's a chaos god.
Also, Eris will be sticking with Neri for the...
What?
Basically just shuffling around with her as we're prepping.
Right. Anyone still need to do anything prep-wise?
Oh, would anyone tell Gorian what we're doing?
Yes.
What does
you
plague powder do?
Gives you plague.
don't.
What if
You
I
know,
put
fuck
it
up
in a
like that.
smoke bomb?
Fucking don't.
Yeah, just I said, are you what could really improve the smoke grenade? Anthrax.
Also, Justin from Zalman's for $20 saying, that reminds me, to guarantee the party's death, Mark gets another satchel charge in the mail from Uncle Teddy.
Don't open this. Don't open your birthday gift too quickly, Mark. You might have an unfortunate surprise.
Yeah. Wished I'd saved the last one for a little bit longer. I'm grateful to have this.
You might not have become a vampire. Hang on, let me find
Oh,
another
yeah.
hand to pop.
Was what?
It's a very terse moment between you and Gory, as you both, of course, eye each other. It's like, yes, we both can tell that we are indeed nearly vampires.
You should give him the onion one. I don't recall what it does, but onion.
Gorian just kind of nods to call me Mark. Welcome.
I'm silently nodding back also.
Oh. We're going to be making our way down into the caverns, potentially the upper portions of the Underdark to deal with whatever Gribblies are down there.
Yes, onion.
Hmm.
Oh, no.
It's so cursed. I hate it.
Yeah. I think
By
it's
the way,
also,
Bill,
like,
could I try and
white,
figure out what's in
yellow.
my satchel charge?
Oh, what was your one? No, yours was the forbidden flavor, was it not?
I'm unsure. I don't think I looked at it. I just knew that I
Yours
got
is the
one
forbidden
charged.
flavor because Mark got the Princess Diana one because it was funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
You may try.
What do I roll to figure out what it does?
Whatever you wish.
Siege engineering.
Excellent choice.
Oh,
21.
almost rolled two.
It is-
2.
Well, you're not sure what it does because it's literally impermeable and is absorbing light.
Oh, almost forgot. The last thing I wanted to, that I was asking was, is there a person inside of the center that can enchant the weapons with ghost touch?
Not on this short notice. It would take days.
Justin from Cold War Mag for $20 saying, click potential increasing, new variant detected.
Yeah.
I don't wanna know what that means.
Okay, Han. As you are examining it, that label, you can notice a number of very strange and peculiar ingredients on the back. First of all, you notice that the serial number is 00000000004.
I see. So not many were made.
Correct. Or this is very old, and it might have just turned a funny color. But of more concern to you is the ingredients list, which includes such things as naphthic acid, stabilizers including palm oil, and extract of alligator sapping turtle.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna save this one for a rainy day.
You mean like boiling rainy day or...
They're going to ask you to clean that up one day, by the way.
Ah, we'll get to it. First, leave the
Can't wait. You come back from like 3 months trapped underground. It's like, yeah, I hate to break it to you, Baz, but it's getting pretty bad out here. It's been raining sideways for like 2 days now.
I'm not sure what that's about.
Just got sort of one guy who's like wandering through the rain. He looks like that guy who got hit with a nuclear waste at the end of RoboCop. His skin's melted off. He gets hit by a carriage and just bursts.
Right. Which direction is the entrance relative to our position right now? Because I think we went down here from this direction, so
yeah,
over there.
You okay? You came down here, came through here.
Mm-hmm.
You went to here. In here, you found a kobold.
Yep.
And looted the place. From here, you heard some disquieting noises.
And it was closed off, I believe, the well. Because people placed
Oh,
a
yeah.
bunch of objects on it.
Yes, there's some bullshit on top of there. I don't know where it's gone. I think it might have been accidentally shuffled to a different layer. But
Did we
what?
bother to ask the kobold any questions? Because I wasn't there for that session.
I do
He
believe
only spoke-
a bit.
If you wish to interrogate him further, he is available for a few questions.
All right.
If you would have been able to ask him at the time, when Faustus was like cruising you around like a fucking Cadillac.
Yeah. Try and just go through a bunch of languages, see which one he understands.
He speaks Draconic. Only speaks Draconic.
Okay. I'll try
Unless you-
linguistics to kind of get an
Do you
idea.
speak Dwarvish?
I do not. No. I do speak giant, but I think that's a bit polar opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Try linguistics. Kind of get a rudimentary idea of what he's trying
Carl can interpret as Almond does speak Draconic.
Right. So we'll have a go with linguistics.
That'll be enough to get you through the conversation.
So
what would you like to ask?
basically, I would like to ask, like, if he can describe the thing that was trying to catch him, to like bring him back.
He uses a lot of strange Draconic kind of idioms.
Mm-hmm.
But the term that comes up, there's two words. The precise term is beard tyrant.
Could I infer a thing from that?
You can roll me a knowledge local or dungeoneering.
All right. Out of character, I know what that means, but in character, I might not. I'll go with local.
That sounds like a Duergar, deep dwarves. You've met a subsect of them. The one on the surface that you met at your other merchant friend's place is what's known as a Devaro. The Devaro are... The Duergar are naturally silent. The Devaro are just very highly organized to the point of almost mechanization. And you're not sure which you're dealing with here because both of them are referred to in Draconic as beard tyrants. In fact, most characters can't tell them apart. So it could be a Devaro, it could be a Duergar, it could be a deep dwarf or a grey dwarf. All he knows is it is a catch-all term for subterranean dwarf species that are not related to the main branch, Torag worshipping good old-fashioned grumpy sod dwarves.
I'll ask him how many there were chasing him and how many he's seen in general.
He goes to hold up finger, cut most of his off.
I will try to write in sand or dirt to like indicate differences between like 1, 2, 3, lots, many, and then finally like city.
His mind like gets blown the second you go past 2. But he just pointed 2. 2. Well, he scratches out in the ground 2.5. So 2.5.
Could I infer from this that it is far beyond 2? It's just the most that he can comprehend. It's like a.
I'm not sure because he's got reference. It's like when you have a very small child. If they've got like a pile of sweets, they can count out on the sweets, and they can kind of infer from there that there's something above just 3. But he specifically like gets like these whatever you're using as markers and just like scribbles out the bottom half of one, the third one.
They have a short.
But he seems really unsure about it. How much shorter can you get? They're bloody like deep dwarves.
Half a deep dwarf without his legs.
Or a child.
The child.
Nobody has ever seen a Duergar child. In fact, it's inferred that most of them don't exist. The running theory is, well, the rumor is that at birth, every Duergar child is thrown into a pit with 12 years worth of food and 12 years worth of angry dogs to kill.
Also, just sent from Cold Warmac for 10 saying extra $10 to previous super chat of click potentially increasing and new variant detected. Might be good to just read out. Yes.
Could I also ask him if there's any sort of like landmarks or like places of note that he is aware of?
Boards. Mine. Boards. Lights. Bad lights. Bad lights. Make eyes ache. Ouch. How I ache. Ow. Ow.
What color?
Which sounds a lot better. Not no. He pointed at his eyes. Colorblind. Blind cut. No difference. What
Kobolds are
lights?
naturally sensitive to light, right?
Very naturally sensitive to light, and
Yeah.
All right.
their
Kinda
version
blinded
of
him.
their version of dark vision does not have color differentiation.
Could I point at a nearby torch or fire-based light source and ask him essentially like that light? Like that? Stronger?
He makes kind of like a kind of open and close motion with his hands. Not really sure what he's inferring.
Magic?
He kind of shrugs. Maybe.
All right.
Lots. All over. Not be able to shield eyes. Hurts. Can't see. Make faceplate. Make eyeglasses. Make eyeglasses from beard tyrant. They break lenses. Throw on ground. By mistake. I grab. Put over holes in helmet. Run.
That is very good to know. Thank you.
You do know this much. The majority of deep dwarven species are also sensitive to light. Though not to the extent that kobolds are. Kobolds, with enough light exposure, they get horrible migraines. The majority of dwarven species can eventually harden to light exposure.
Yeah.
Assuming it's not just a beholder with a beard. Which is a distinct possibility, but given that he mentioned it's more than one, it proves it's not beholders because they'd kill each other. Beholders as a species are one big battle royale. Like, the second you're born, as your progenitor spits out like 500 of you, it's like, just, okay, which one lives?
In that case, I will inform the party that everyone needs to get like a pair of smoke goggles to take with to provide eye protection, just in case.
Onto the shopping list it goes. I will also help Neri get Neri some.
They are they're readily available, and they are most importantly available as standalone lenses to be placed over things like helmet gaps, visors, even gas masks.
Can I buy a
I'll also
miniature
ask him if there's
version?
any sort of loud sounds.
Pardon?
I'll also ask him if there's any sort of like loud or deafening sounds that are like a regular occurrence.
Pick, and the clank and the clank and the clank, and make the sound of cart go across rail.
All right.
Grind through dirt. And in distance, he then shudders.
What weapons do the deep dwarves use?
He just starts
Weird
crying.
things. Just. I'll just sort of like, as he's crying, I'll just sort of like awkwardly point to like different weapons from the various adventurers that are like in the room, and just sort of go like that.
Just watch
Okay.
where he cries harder.
When he gets to the hammer on, Comrade's side, he nods. And when it gets to Neri's fists, he nods. He also mentioned something. He uses a term that is only in only makes sense in Draconic. It doesn't really say make sense translated directly. The closest equivalent word is shade or nemesis.
Can I translate on behalf of the party in Draconic?
Yeah, the
Gladly.
assumption is that this is being translated.
Okay.
Either linguistics or by your proficiency in Draconic.
So, shadow thing / nemesis. Is that a weapon? Beast?
It stretch out. It eat people. It eat other kobolds. Anyone not work.
So beast then? Monster?
It not like other monsters. It just. He just then bursts into more tears. And just kills him a ball on the ground.
I'll pat its
It's-
shoulder.
It doesn't just seem like he's upset. It looks like it's actually paining him to remember it. Like it's something about what he is remembering is so distressing to even picture in his head that it's causing him like actual physical pain.
Sorry, buddy. We just really need to know this information. I'll make sure the Church's Guild takes care of you.
You got to be careful using the term "take care of them" around the Church's Guild ever since the Soma incident.
Yeah.
I will make sure that the Church's Guild extends you their hospitality.
So take care of him, not you. Pointing at Soma as he puts his knife away. Okay, with him handed over. Descending down into the little shack at the edge of town, the room is different. All the resources in here, all the grain, all the vegetables, all the barrels, anything you left behind is gone.
Detect magic on if there's any sort of magic lingering in here.
Okay. There are dotted around the place on like lintels and doorways. There's a very sickly residue of something. There's this kind of thin veneer of very like adhesive slime, and as you open the door, something flops to the ground, and it's a very thin, flat, pale worm.
I will not touch it, but I'd like to make knowledge rolls on it, please.
Certainly, that would be basically anything.
Help with this. I'll roll knowledge nature to try and figure out how it acts. Like if it
Arcana, cause what the fuck is not?
It looks like a hookworm of some kind. It's kind of flat, like parasitic worm.
Aren't hookworms
But it
ones
would-
you have to dissolve in like chemicals so they die?
Pretty much, but it's just not the right coloration. It's far too large.
color is it?
But kind of a very, very pale green, bordering on white.
Does it seem poisonous? That nature will indicate anything.
The slime it's secreting it absolutely reeks, and appears to be magically active.
Any specific magic?
Necromancy. Could someone roll me on knowledge and religion?
Gladly.
Is the actual way to ID these things?
Oh yeah,
Battle engineering.
doesn't Han have animal identifying vision now due to one of the previous
Oh
curses?
That's
yeah, I forgot about that.
Thank you. Wanda.
True.
Very cool.
It's technically it is,
It's
but-
mainly for mundane animals, though, from what I can tell.
It's technically mundane-ish.
Alright.
They're not magical beasts; they're just vermin.
Nat 20.
That is a Cayuse worm. They are some of the most insidious parasites around. One of these things gets into your nervous system, and you are grade A, capital F, fucked. It will bore you out from the inside and turn you into an undead monstrosity.
With that, would I know, like, where they would burrow? Or, like, if they have, like, a particular way of doing it?
If in any fashion ingested, get to the skin, they are... The very first worm that walks was named Cayuse. And he was made of these worms. And ever since then, they have been around in the ecosystem, causing merry havoc. Anything that dies whilst infested with these things will raise as a... If, provided that its body is strong enough to maintain it, raises a powerful undead known as a son of Cayuse.
Hmm.
You should
There's an
try to
entire
kill them.
sub-school of necromancy devoted to using these things. As with the...
Are these worms harmed by negative energy?
No.
Ooh, that makes them dangerous. Especially. Okay.
Are they harmed by positive energy?
No. They're very stubborn to kill.
Are they susceptible to any particular type of, like, energy damage?
A blessed flame kills them instantly. Provided it's direct exposure. If they're inside a host, it takes a while, but fire in general tends to be the best route, as with all parasites. There's more than one case where someone's life has been saved because they've stubbed a cigarette out on one of these things, right as it's about to bore its way into their flesh. But it's strange to see one out here, half dead, by itself.
Could I also make a survival roll, specifically looking for footsteps, potentially of the Durga? Like any sort of tracks?
You may try. Okay. There are a number of tracks around. They are definitely not Durga. Something has been skittering around here, but it's not a Durga. Furthermore, the area around here is something what you're not sure what it was, but there are scrape marks on the ceiling. Conducive with something so tall it doesn't fit in the room properly.
Are there drag marks in the ground, like signs of something being dragged away?
There's some splinters of wood left from crates being dragged, and there's some scuff marks, yes. The scrape marks are on the ceiling, where something has just ground its way through the stone. Leaving like some fairly shallow ravines, but still there. It's like someone's taken a... It's like if you had taken a pickaxe, put it to the ceiling and just dragged it across. With a lot of force, too.
Alright. Well, I suggest we all take some precautions to prevent the burrowing of those worms. Might be good to just have a pint or some alchemist fire ready if need be. I reckon alternatively a torch will work just fine as well to just kind of burn them to death with. But these things are nasty. You want to be careful.
How would you like to dispose of this one, if at all?
Would the knowledge of religion give me any sort of information as to like proper disposal methods, or if there's any method that's like has some religious significance?
Religious smiting magic tends to kill these things pretty much instantly.
Holy light beam.
Beep.
Just absolute overkill.
You'd be surprised how durable these things are. If you hit it with a hammer, it'd take a while. Because they're so flat and tough. It's like hitting a piece of leather. But with holy light, just beep.
Oh, what rough size are they, by the way, just so you can get an idea of it?
This one is about the length and thickness of your hand, not a human hand. Your hand, but almost completely flat.
Okay, so they're actually quite large, but they can squeeze in between very narrow
This one
surfaces.
appears to be like a mature one.
Right.
They vary wildly depending on the host. But if something was host to this thing and it's this big, then whatever was the host to it was big. Very big.
I'll just let Faustus know preemptively that if he notices any one of these sorts of creatures like making its way onto my body, to just ready himself to just burn it to bits. Burn it to cinders.
For combined effect of holy light and some India exponent, it is dusted. What do you make you going to roll for it? If you go try and handle it, I'd make you roll for it just to avoid getting this thing biting onto you and burrowing up to your fucking knuckles.
Oh, but I also know what the speed is at which you can burrow into things.
Once it'll attach itself with the first action, and by the second action, it'll be up your arm.
Right.
You got 6 seconds to get it off before it starts like fucking you up. That's the major problem with these things. They are so fast. Just when they get to this size, a Caius worm of this size can get through leather and chain.
I see.
It will struggle with plate until it finds like a nook, and then you're fucked.
So essentially, plate armor will buy you some time.
Yeah,
that's about it. All right.
The chain will slow it down. It'll struggle to chew through it, but it'll chew through it. It'll go get you like a round. Plate armor will get you like 3.
Okay, that's actually very good to know.
If it's special, if it's that fancy fitted articulated plate with like there's like plates on the corners rather than like chainmail, it'll keep it out until it finds a visor. Or God help you, a codpiece. Are you familiar with a Candir? It's a bit like that, but a lot more traumatic.
That's impressive. Right.
The largest Caius worm on record was the size of a person's arm.
I hate South America. Right. Shall we proceed, everyone?
Yes. I also make a mental note of these worms to keep an eye out for them.
You only do find one worm. There's just this thick slime all over this doorway. It's hanging in thick, like gelatinous strands, almost like a spider's web, and reeks to high heaven of just necrosis. And that kind of old people's home, soft flesh smell.
Could I just use Blessed Corpse on it just to be sure? It doesn't seem to do anything.
It rots to ruin completely instantly.
I'm glad to be part of the Church's Guild. Days like these. All right.
Thanks, Big J. It's okay, bro.
I'll just kind of lean into peek my head in through the doorway, just look left, right, up, down, just to be sure.
Right behind this table is a dead worm. It appears to have been pulverized. By a boot print. That is no word of a lie, like the size of your torso.
Jesus Christ.
And there are, you notice like more dotted around like little parasitic insects, like another worm here, like a centipede here, but they're all curled up dead with what appears to be some fairly severe burns on them. But the furniture is untouched, bar a couple of patches where like the wood is a bit bleached. There's still a bunch of pickaxes out here.
Bleaching, like what was caused by the radioactive stuff.
No, this isn't like a flash happened that just made things paler. This goes behind stuff. Like light could never have reached the back of this table, but it's still bleached on the back. So you suspect. Yeah. If anyone wants to roll any alchemy or arcana.
Yes.
The smell in here is prodigious. This heavy, heady kind of
Arcana.
unpleasant kind of bromine smell.
How long does it take for like an air canister to refill itself?
Air canisters have to be refilled with a pump. Takes a minute.
All right.
I think it takes 10 minutes, I should say. And by the time you're done, the canister is hot to the touch.
See, I'll
There have been occasions where people have gotten so desperate for fire they have literally refilled an air canister up to full capacity and touched it to a particularly dry piece of paper, and it will actually get hot enough to almost form a spark. And you just.
I'm gonna make sure to put some fresh charcoal in my filter scarf. And have my gas mask at the ready to just flip up at a moment's notice.
You know what this is. This appears to be some kind of chemical pesticide.
It would explain the dead bugs. And then the worm not dying, it got squished.
Though specifically, these insects like it's a lot of ichor expelled from their bodies. You would reckon, judging by what you've seen previously, this is very similar composition to the vials of vampire's kiss that Almond has.
But
it's a hemorrhagic. It's similar though. It's a hemorrhagic gas. Bit more viscous than air, so it actually sprays.
I will let the party know about this.
Sorry, what was it again?
Basically pesticide, the stuff that's been sprayed around.
Is it acidic in nature?
Yes.
Is it as potent as like the material in an acid flask?
It's a bit more dilute, but essentially it's pumped into the room, and the idea is that with this chemical, and you're not really sure what it is, because it's something like this is just from what you observed. Like it's like a combination of things. It's like someone's cocktailed together a bunch of chemicals. It causes burns, hemorrhaging from the burns, then hemorrhage, judging by the wounds. Nasty stuff. And a good evening to Shade, who had to step off for the evening, so he's going to spend time with his family. Always good to have you on, Shade.
Yes, have a good time.
Yeah.
Indeed. Right, you're coming, or we're just gonna, sit here?
Eris will begrudgingly move through the necro-smelling stuff.
By the way, Eris, Basil hand you an acid flask. If you could somehow, improvise some sort of a spraying device, so we can just use this to kind of spray down surfaces. might be good for dealing with these things.
I shall try.
This place is even more ransacked than the last time you were here. It was a shithole then.
Could I do in craft alchemy to see if I can actually manage to make it into an acid spray?
You may.
I'll also hand her
26.
the bottle of vinegar that I had from the beginning of the game.
Yeah, with a bit of know-how. If you are willing to dilute it a bit, to make that a piece, and then also a gelling agent, which you know how to make because you would talk to the scouts. Make it from bones. So essentially, add some vinegar, add some bone fragments or dust, and you should have something that can be sprayed.
Will give us
And
some
be-
bones that I have on my person.
I'm not gonna ask why you had those.
I mean,
But,
considering he can
reasons.
pop off his hand, and then
There's
he
No.
there's
grows
a
the hand.
there is a full lab. There's a full alchemy lab in the other room, so you can do your like. Essentially, this works like Keras oil, but for acid damage.
I'll hand
Nice.
it back to Baz. Just be like, here you go.
Though I would say it has a little spray bottle rather than having to ingest it and then spit it at people like you do with Keras oil.
Thank God. Be a bit awkward.
It's just you with a mouthful of Listerine spitting at people. I can do that shit. I can do like the full like Tajiri spray.
Also, I'm gonna just sort of zap the one worm just to be sure and bless its remnants.
All that's left is a greasy smear.
Right. Gonna do the same thing again with just stepping into the other room. Just take a 10
More
on
of the
perception.
slime,
20.
but on doorways, but no worms currently. There is a corpse.
Huh. What do we have here?
People of the party that was not other members of the party that was not there previously.
Yes, it was not. That's where we got the cave vine.
On the ground is a man in some very strange encased armor, kind of it's quite light stuff, but like boiled leather plating, like all completely enclosed. But his head has his head has been completely crushed, and the vines are growing into the gaps in the joints in his armor and appear to be burrowing into his flesh. And the plant is visibly healthier where it's doing so.
I mean, I guess it's iron-rich fertilizer?
Pretty much. These kinds of cave tendrils, they can be a bit like that sometimes. They will grow towards carrion.
Is his armor enclosed to the same degree as my full plate?
It's flexible, but it is as enclosed. It appears to be
Alright.
similar to the survival suits that some of the members of the Foresters Guild use.
Yeah.
Would you like to search him?
Yes.
And would you like to, if people would like to diagnose the man, it would be a heal check. If you'd like to search him, it'd be a perception check. This is the first round of actions on the corpse. You cannot do both. So pick a card on your card. You may well get a chance to do another one. Also, if people want to move up to where they want to be.
Yep.
I'll be keeping watch into this direction.
Since I have the highest perception check, I should roll the perception, and somebody else should roll the other check.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Make sure
29.
to move your character as well.
Yeah. Move up. I want people. This is dungeoneering rules. I want people on site where they are.
I will be dragging
I'll
Neri
position
with
myself
me.
over here.
I'm using her as a living stone shield.
Aiden's
I
puking
don't
guts
have
out.
any light, despite purchasing a light ring thing.
Oh, sorry, let me edit that.
I will be reading up the rear with Become Beasts.
I really wish you would phrase it.
I'm
I
not
was
the
just
one.
straight the cum beasts are an abstraction. They just are a stand-in for whenever we need something.
I have seen a bimbo cum beast on Pinterest lately. And I, don't
I
know how
did
to
not
feel
need to
about
know that.
this.
Insight gained.
I'm not the one who got lazy and didn't make a ghost flame picture, Bill. It's not my fault.
I could do, but it was I don't know something about the cum beast. It's versatile.
It wasn't used
Alluring.
by Baz, so
Also, I couldn't be
Gets
bothered to
off
switch the
seconds.
image over.
Bill's the DM. He gets the blame.
Yes, that's how DMing works.
Right. Does it seem that the crushing wound kind of coincided with the boot print on the worm?
No, whatever hit this man's head, it looks like he was fed through. Like, these kinds of wounds are impossible to perform with just a single blow.
he got put through the chicken
But-
defeatherer.
Regardless of that, this was definitely one singular crushing motion, and it has completely ruptured his skull. It is just a twisted mass of steel and pulped bone and brains. Everything above, even the most meager trace of jawbone or teeth has been completely crushed.
Is there any
You
sort
will
of sign?
you will have to sift this man for the fingerprints. That is how badly his head is crushed.
So as
True
far as like
fertilizer
deformation
removal.
on like the helmet, are there any sort of like teeth marks or something that almost indicates like imprints from a palm of a hand, or something?
It almost looks like he was caught in a piece of machinery.
The defeatherer.
Like he fed himself through a lathe. Like, slap a fucking Live Leak Lego on this man. He got a rough fucking job.
Ah. Rest in peace, average Chinese steel mill worker.
Precisely. This man worse than usual. Like, imagine, if you will,
Jesus.
headbutting a Chinese steel mill piece of machinery.
Wait, what happened?
He fed himself. He looks like he's been eaten by a fucking escalator.
I was about to say, there's a wild escalator roaming around
The Apex Princer is hit hand here.
in search of a succulent Chinese meal.
Bill. What would
Yes?
happen if you were to set the cave vine on fire, considering it constricts when heat is applied? Would it just squeeze his body out?
There's like a 50-50 chance it would either like squeak out of him, like, or alternately it could like wrench him physically onto the wall, rear back, and like fling him forwards.
Oh, it's like one of those vegetable cutters where you have to push vegetable through like the grates. Just gonna chop
Sounds
them.
like it's not a mandolin slicer. Calm down. But it looks like this man's head was fed through a fucking mandolin slicer. He looks like he went to like an industrial chip rumbler, which is like what they used to peel potatoes, like a massive like rotating abrasion plate. Took off the safety equipment and face planted into it directly,
I see.
or like stuck his head in a car crusher. This is
Not a good time.
no. This man has had his head completely like one swift motion, crush, and just through. Like, it turned his head inside out and obliterated it. The smell is... What worries you, Han, is that some of this blood isn't coagulated yet.
Huh. So it's fresh.
Reasonably fresh, yes. Most of it would have hemolyzed within a couple of hours, so he's only been dead a couple of hours at best. Unless there's an anticoagulant. He admittedly has moved through an area with an anticoagulant, hemorrhagic chemical, so he might have been exposed, perhaps. But
Yeah.
tying into what Armand finds, you find a patch on his shoulder. Well, the one shoulder he has, one of his arms has been ripped off. A little above the elbow. On the arm that's not there, actually, is a patch of this design.
Weird kobold rat.
Is that recognizable in the context of like the surface?
Knowledge local. Or nobility.
That's your
technically.
classic CIA dragon, that is.
Glows in the dark, yeah.
Mark, maybe you can do detect bourgeoisie on this man.
Sure.
This man is a true member of the proletariat.
Knew it from the way that it's been smashed up by the man.
That is the symbol. Is one of two things. Either he is a cultist of Lao Shan Xiao Po, the Tianjia deity of rats and thievery, or, more likely, given the region, he is a member of the Rat Catchers Guild. Spelled G-I-L-D. The G-I-L-D guilds are the more simple power structures that serve below the big guilds. Merchants Guild, like Foresters Guild, King's Guild, Mages Guild. Below them are the guilds, G-I-L-D. Different spelling, much more. Workers Guild. There are some security guilds. Technically speaking, the Rat Catchers Guild sees so much combat, they are considered a law enforcement agency.
Nice.
They are famous.
I'd like to quickly point out the poetic nature of a man who is possibly, but very unlikely, part of like a Chinese rat cult getting escalated to death.
Yeah, I hadn't quite picked. It's the only picture of initially, the reason I used this image is I was going to use a different one from some game called Guild Ball, but unfortunately it was in WebP format and I couldn't be bothered to change it around. So I decided the reason that the Rat Catchers Guild use Lao Shan Po's symbol is in mockery. The patch is upside down. It's just that it's been his sleeve was rolled up in the violence, it seems. And it wrenched his shoulder. The sleeve is there, but this man's a mess. His leg is one of his arms is wrenched out at the shoulder, like the joint is just ripped clean out the socket. One of his limbs has. His left leg is the consistency of doner kebab meat. It's been like peeled apart.
I'm sorry.
And he said that his blood isn't fully coagulated yet.
There are a few places where it's still damp.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and lick those bits.
Well, that's just a casual Mark thing.
Mark, I should stress your character is not he's a vampire for flesh. He's not really a blood drinking type. And Gorin's just in the court. Doran's just like look around the corner and go,
just face palming.
I'll peel off some of that lovely kebab meat that you was on about.
Bill, what do I need to roll for active disgust?
Even Speedwagon is afraid.
I'm gonna roll perception to ignore that.
Roll to disassociate.
Yes, I will roll.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look the other way.
That's just a Mark thing. Just a
Alright,
thing. I'm
you
gonna
enjoy your
associate.
It is enough to not notice.
Good.
My roll
Neri was already vomiting due to being poisoned by bad kebab, and now she can never look at them the same way again.
Oh, you should tell her that Mark's fucking eating rat catcher kebab.
My character is not rolling to ignore. My character is rolling to look at him and say, "You see this? Do you see this? This is exactly what we were fucking talking about."
About communism?
Yes.
I can see that everyone's disgusted, so I apologise and offer, like, does anyone else want some?
No.
I just hear vomiting from upstairs. It's inappropriate.
I have stuffed up nose, but the character's actively breathing heavily. Remember when we were yelling at each other and you were talking about, yes, the undead deserve to be in the ground.
I haven't changed my opinion, by the way.
It
But yeah,
is underground, too.
You can, yeah.
What do you have to say to this, brother?
We're underground.
Degeneracy comes in many forms, my friend.
And we're just going to accept that this is happening and ignore it.
Dissociate.
I would prefer to ignore this, just for my own sanity's sake.
So you are acknowledging that we have a point?
I'm acknowledging
with
that
all
this
that
might in fact be a
edge-
bit of an issue.
With all that edge you
Almond
keep
is
throwing
finally
around.
Almond is finally feeling what it's like to be on the opposite end of this situation, where someone does something so audacious that it is so shocking to the core of your being that you don't know how to react. So you just kind of exist alongside of it happening.
Yep.
Headcanoning that this is a voice in his head because they're starting to get lonely. No, I know exactly how to react to this. That's what we're fucking talking about. See, we just fucking fall around the building place because we're too lazy to fucking walk. This man's eating a fucking corpse. He's eating a fucking corpse.
Honestly, I'd rather have him on our side for the time being, considering the things we'll have to deal with down here. So,
Yeah, I'd rather be on
He's-
the side
boy,
of the flesh-eating boy as well.
we'll have the counseling session the next time we have some
I should
downtime.
stress that the glow around him is getting stronger.
I'm gonna have a sip of my therapy to go.
Pass that goon bag around. It's gonna be a real fucker of an evening.
Good thing it is endless.
Okay. But you notice that his left arm, which is intact, he's got an absolute death grip on something.
I bet you were looting.
It seems that as he died, he rolled over onto something and just clenched every muscle he had to keep something safe.
I hope it's not a child.
That'd be terrifying.
Now, if it was a child, then whatever spreading one of those cayuse worms around would have gotten to it first.
Yeah. Plus, imagine you're just some kid, and then you hear people, you're getting saved, and you just look up, and someone's just starting to eat the person that saved you.
Look up,
So, finally, I'm saved. I
God.
can finally go home. All you hear is...
you see Nicocado avocados towering over you.
With a bowl of sauce.
Yeah, you just mind your business, you hear the whoop, and then in their heads it implodes. Hurled into a wall with enough force to just shatter most of the bones in their body. But yeah, there is something underneath his like pressed to his abdomen as tight as his body could. To the point where it's like embedded. It's currently like indented into his body at this stage.
Could I try and turn him around?
You may.
Let's crowbar his hands open.
Okay. As you do. Click!
Fuck's sake.
Camera smile.
Reflex.
5 foot step back. Move action to just
Drag
Create
Neri
cover.
away.
in this direction.
The ghost will move into the skeleton. The skeleton will take 5 foot step back.
Crouching.
Baz,
I'd like
do
to
you
take a
consider-
5 foot step back, but there's a chasm.
Wait, let me just kind of change.
Neri's a rock too.
Okay. As you roll him over, it appears that what was happening before he died. Now, what I was mentioning earlier before you moved on without me was one quirk of the Ratcatchers Guild is when a firearm is found in the confines of a city that is not Swag Keen. He said Booty Bay there. What fucking settings mixed up. If you're outside Swag Keen and you find you with a gun, they will confiscate the firearm, and then usually it is taken back to be remanufactured. They bore out the frism and the flintlock, and in the little gap where the powder goes through to ignite the charge, they run a cable, a tube specifically, and they are used in what the Rat Catchers Guild's higher-ups call fumigant rifles. They spray chemicals. They're a weaponized version of a jet caster, or chemical sprayer.
Now explain the
Nice.
chemical stuff. Then.
It appears that when this person appeared to be in the process of reloading his fumigant gun when something wrenched his arm off, crushed his skull, and threw him into this wall with enough force that it literally it partially ruptured the canister that he was reloading with. As a result, the entire area is now awash with the now decompressing gas. Could everyone within 15 feet roll me a fort save?
Ghosts have to worry about decompression gas?
All right.
Okay.
For Neri. I
Let's
would have
go
tried to
for this
move
plus
her.
2.
I'm not going to do damage to a person who wasn't there. So
Yeah. Can I just basically move her one square back?
yes.
Very cool.
Bruh. That'll be a 9.
Oh no. Okay. Everyone who is exposed to the gas.
Is now an Incredible Hulk.
Dun dun.
You wish. Five points of acid damage. And if you failed the save, which is a DC of 14, you are now blind.
Bruh.
Now, as someone with moonstruck eyes, Eris can't be blinded.
Way.
However, this bag was extremely poorly for bats.
What about the smoke
Indeed.
goggles? Would those have helped?
Not enough. Best could give us a +4, and it's not going to be enough to do it. He's +7.
It's a plus 8 against visual effects.
+8.
Yep.
Are they sealed? Well, that's a +8 versus like flashbangs and stuff. Is it like a
It's
it
against
sealed
visual.
goggle?
But I don't have them on, so it doesn't
Yeah.
affect the situation. Because I didn't say so.
And the plus side, you are like Trollblood. You will eventually regenerate your eyes, but suddenly everything goes dark.
Again.
I'm glad I have blind sense.
As everyone watches as Baz clutches his eyeballs, and they just go pale.
Ah. Fuck.
Honestly, you should just ask Lamarck to get you some fungus. You're losing your eyes too much.
I should really stress that infesting anyone with troll blood with fungus is an extraordinarily poor idea.
Might get a little volatile.
They tend to fight. The troll blood and the fungi fight each other, and it's not pleasant for anyone. So you end up with rampage trolls.
Yeah, it sounds like cancer, but specifically for trolls in a way.
Yeah, basically any plant that would aid like symbiotically with creatures. If it's with a troll, it becomes parasitic instead, and it drives you nuts. So the entire area washes with the reek of chlorine gas.
I will put on my
Oh,
gas
fuck,
mask
okay.
with my ear
Same.
canister. And I will also hand Neri just random cloth to try and help.
Oddly, it's not a gas like a yellow color, like yellow thin gas like it normally is. This is a billowing smoke, though with a somewhat fluid movement to it. It runs in like streams of it, like it's an effervescent liquid rather than a.
Is it bottom heavy
Gas.
in the sense of that it's settling to the ground?
It is, and it's slowly pulling around your boots.
Can I just,
eating away?
with my tail, swish it away into the chasm behind me?
You may.
Okay, I will do that.
Is that the canister or also the sprayer?
The sprayer is not present. You notice that there are straps on him from where the sprayer was anchored with the backpack, but it seems that the actual device itself is wrenched from his body with a lot of force. You suspect that some of the broken ribs were from that, actually, not from the impact.
Not ideal, but suggest we get a move on.
It's but a scratch.
Just calling to attention.
I'll just move it with
Happened.
telekinesis down the chasm more so, from a distance.
It's a good job that someone did that, because this does damage over time.
Yes, I'll just scoop it basically into the chasm. Let it drift down in there for God knows who else.
Again, just for attention. Happened because he started eating the fucking corpse.
No, it was checking what he was cradling, I think.
It didn't start until he started eating the fucking corpse.
Well, we would have looted anyway, to be fair.
If I'd have just kept eating, it would never have happened.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it okay, Mark.
Comrade, can we maybe not eat humanoids? You know? Sure, if it's a monstrous species, it's a little different, but, you know.
It's a bit it's kind of hard to tell, but he doesn't seem to be a greenskin of some kind.
5-5. We've come across a drow and I hit it with a fucking belt.
Wait, is he greenskin?
He
Yes.
He does not. He does not appear to be a greenskin.
Ah,
He's a bit greenish now.
it's a bit under the weather.
Yeah, especially that the anticoagulants and the previous mix, because you get a lot of cross-contamination with these rifles. They're not particularly clean, and they get backflow. But that means that the blood doesn't hemolyze, but the flesh is necrotized at an accelerated rate.
Right.
And also, his torso's been pumped full of chlorine gas this whole time, so yeah, he's a bit melty.
Indeed.
That said, there is a banged up, but fumigator suit.
There's so much chlorine in this meat, it's like American chicken.
I hate to break this to you, Mark, but our chicken has that too.
I would like to take the fumigator suit.
I work in the industry. I know we still do chlorine like flushed chicken.
I'm not even gonna ask. I will stay oblivious. Thank you.
Yeah, staying oblivious just like always. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I think that was out of character rather than in character.
Yeah, out of character. Sorry.
No one needs to know about chlorine gas. You've been eating it your whole lives. It doesn't really bite. It's like pool water, let's face it. It's not that heavily concentrated.
Yeah.
Basil put some pythons into either the... Actually, I'll put them into the ground, if possible.
So look, the
Tie a rope around it and around myself. Secure it.
I think the majority of people got given or bought climbing harnesses, so there are available anchoring points for the majority of people.
Yes.
Comrade can just like loop it through the cod piece on the fancy armor.
Yeah, I suggest we just have some rope ready just in case some funny business happens, shall we say.
Don't you worry. We've got 170 feet of it.
Excellent. Make sure that... Actually, could I, roll to...
The result of a forklift certified monster. For fuck's sake.
Could I, what do I roll to figure out the structural integrity of this, this little bridge? Engineering, or can I just see it at...
Engineering would be fun.
Alright.
It's a bit rickety. You notice that it's made from a series of 15-foot long sections of It almost looks like old pontoon wood. That they fly out on the river.
Does it seem
when
like
you're down the bridge? When you're down the bridge shopping district, there's a bunch of pontoons down there, and they look like the same wood as this.
Does it seem like it can hold a couple of us at a time?
Yeah, but not too many. If you went across it with someone else, it would be a bit of a rough turn.
Right then, shall we lead the way?
Very well.
Wonderful, lovely. Don't mind us. I'm just gonna go ahead and scoot past you. They're gonna stand slightly behind Neri. They're going to attach a rope in the same flying maneuver they did to Lamach. Hover the skeleton through the air with rope trick, and then just the ghost and the skeleton just gonna float past without touching the wood.
I was about to say you're literally weightless, so it wouldn't matter either way. You could have trotted across that quite happily, even if you couldn't have flight.
I'm not taking the risk to touch the wood, Bill.
I'll have you know that the weightlessness of ghosts is actually a character build like cornerstone of the race.
No, the skeleton is not going to touch the wood, Bill.
Nothing so. Okay, so when you get to about there,
Oh.
I'm just going to play a little sound here because it's what you hear from below. So, remember that gas that fell down?
Oh.
Yes.
Does it sound like an alarm system?
Something is moving very rapidly up that chasm.
I'm moving
For
across.
fuck's sake.
I want to move across the bridge fast.
I'd advise moving very quickly. We don't got time for this.
Moving Neri as well.
Dear fucking Christ, where's the goddamn thunder? Is the thunder staying behind?
AFK.
He's like it's like watching like a raid go through an city in an MMO, and then there's just one dude AFK next to a bank, and 500 people from another faction walk by.
Pain. However, in character, we don't have time for this. Go get him. Fine, fucking fine. Mark, if you're still standing here on the other side of the bridge, I will actively push you down. Pick him up with your shoulders. Trotting along.
I'll do like a super leap without ever touching it because I'm cool like that. Even when blind.
Just fucking Billy Elliott's his way across.
He just does it.
Okay, Mark. So Corin Gorian, because you're the last two crossing, you'll get perception checks to see what's currently hurling itself up towards you all.
Mm-hmm.
Again with that horrible noise.
$37.
I didn't get a very good view because I was mid-somersault.
The fuck is that? I love how square he is, and in the other one he's friend-shaped. I think that's the walking escalator.
That is an enormous iron golem.
I guess he doesn't like chlorine gas.
Well, I say iron. It's a enormous metal figure, clad head to toe in some kind of archaic. It's armor shaped, but it's clearly part of his own body. But the speed with which it's ascending, it's just smashing its fingertips into the side of the wall, hurling itself upwards, and then smashing its hands back into the stone. This is solid granite, and it's moving through it like it's butter.
So, swimming motion.
Like butterfly swimming, I suppose.
burrowing speed.
Does Michael Phelps exist in this universe?
Not for much longer.
As they walk across. Fuck. Hey, I think I can see your arrows! Fuck.
I
Yeah, I
regret
was
to inform you
about
that
to
it
say.
has seen you. Its head swivels on the spot, opens its jaws, and this is going to have to be a earphone warning. I turned it down, but it doesn't seem to help it. So just a warning. I've toned it down, but
I have
it's
it
a
on
bit rough on the ears.
26%, my own thing, which I recommend for other players. If you click on the open soundboard, on the top right, you will find a volume button where you can turn down soundboard volume. Because usually it's at 100%, which, good luck.
Yeah, I'll be doing some I'll play the other versions before I do the one that's just labeled "Good Luck." That if you use it on the server, normally it gets you banned. So let's go with trilling again. And now for the pièce de résistance, which I have turned down again.
Wasn't too bad on my end, thankfully.
Yeah, I made sure to turn that one down because that's at 20%. If I played that on full ball the first time, and it was painful. But it hurls itself physically up to the rim of this, and as it's moving through, it smashes through the archway of stone here like it's air.
Question, does it have the arrows stuck in it?
There is a arrow wedge in one of its joints.
Do I recognize it as one of Sir Ironwood's?
Yes.
Did you forget, Poppet? We used True Strike on that. Of course it's ours! Run, please. Run, please.
Initiative time.
Yep.
Actually, I think we'll reconvene next week for the chase sequence, shall we? I think that will be best.
Chase sequence. Oh god.
You could always turn and fight.
Man, I'm sure glad I bought an electric bicycle.
I think I'm good on fighting.
Comrade, your speed is so high you'd be better off and be faster on a regular bicycle.
Yeah, that's probably true. It's only for me to stand on, and do even more elaborate dance tricks.
It runs off acrobatics, which means it runs off dance for you, so bicycle's a really good investment. It's like 500 gold pieces and it doubles your speed.
Mm-hmm. But mostly it's for my my Cayman rider type get-up.
It is the spirit of the thing. Anyway, I hope everyone at home who endured the shopping section to see some real shit at the end there. I hope to see you all next week. Hopefully we'll be a full crew.
Yes.
That's goodbye from me and the rest of the crew then.
Indeed.
Alla Pashon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Come on, people. Say goodbye.
No.
Later, Gators.